Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem, but we got two of my brothers here, brothers from another mother, but we got the same father here this morning. We're going to start off with Badger. Good morning, Badger. How you doing this morning?
Morning. Hope everyone's doing well.
Doing good, doing good. To Salt. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Hey, doing well, man. Hyena happy, elephant elated, and porcupine proud to be here this morning. It is Friday. Today is Friday. We made it to another great week, and we got one more to go. We got one more to go. But I gotta ask a question. I'm gonna ask a question. Tucson, I'm gonna start off with you, brother. Somebody that you know always say, man, I'm gonna be this or I'm gonna be that. I can't wait till my big breakthrough come because I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. But in the meantime, you see them, you always ride by the house and you see them sitting on their front porch, drinking a beer, maybe smoking a blunt, cigarette, cigar, whatever it is. But they're not out there doing anything. But Tucson, they quick to tell you, I have a dream that one day I'm gonna be the best, whatever it is they want to do. Tucson, what is a dream? What is in a dream?
Oh man. Uh, I have to come on the screen for that one.
Come on.
A dream is just a dream.
Wow. Got me sneezing over here this morning.
That's all it is. What is the song says? Nothing comes to sleepers but a dream.
Yes, sir.
So it's something that sleepers do.
Mm.
Sleepers dream. Well, let me find it. I'm gonna find it. I think the somebody sees visions and the other one dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the young and the old men?
You got me on that one, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. It is. I think I got.
What you sneezing so much this morning for?
I don't. But let me take a look at this dreams. And I'm sorry to hold you up, man. But you're not going to accomplish anything on sitting on the porch, drinking beer and uh smoking a blunt, but a good, a good high.
Good Lord.
I think. Anything else? And a hangover. So good luck with that. But I'm gonna have to think that I honestly have to think that over because um huh, that's a good one, Raheem.
Mm-hmm. What
What's a
is in
dream?
what is a dream and what is in a dream? Because we
Yeah,
all we all can have them. We all
yeah,
can have
that's pretty good.
them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. X
Mm-hmm.
X2.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's where it's at.
Why you
No,
find him?
no, go ahead. I'm not you go ahead. I'm still thinking about that one.
Okay. Let me go to Badger. Badger, same question to you. And what is it that this person has said to you many times over? You've heard them say many times over, man, I'm gonna be the best, blah blah blah. Man, one day you're gonna see me and I'm gonna do this. But every time you ride by their house, they're sitting on the front porch, smoking and drinking, hanging out with the boys, ain't really doing nothing. But when you talk to them, man, man, I'm gonna be the best, blah you ever seen, man. I got a dream of doing this, man, and it's gonna come true one day. It's gonna come true one day. Badger, what is in a dream?
What is in a dream?
Yes.
Whatever you, however you perceive it.
Oh, oh Lord.
You, you should already know.
Mine is
Mhm.
Donald's over there like, uh oh. It's the way you perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
That person, if they dream that one day they're gonna be whatever, maybe they're just waiting for that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who am I to say, or
They they could end they could also end up laying on their back in the church looking at the ceiling, still waiting on that day.
what's wrong with that?
You're dead.
Thank you, thank you, Tucson. Thank you,
Well,
Tucson.
maybe their dream was to go to the other side.
Wow.
Well,
Okay, so
that's a
that's
good way. That is. I'm sorry, bro.
Perception.
they ain't got nothing to do with no perception, Badger. This man is wasting their time sitting over there, ain't doing nothing with themselves, with their life, talking about they have a dream. And you telling me, and you want to say to me that the perception of what they're doing is good. Badger, come on, man.
I didn't say it was good or bad.
Well, it doesn't matter from what
I
you
said it's the way it's
from what I
perceived.
gathered from what you said, Badger. From what I gathered from what you said, I'm sitting here asking you a realistic question, and you're gonna come at me talking about it's all about perception. This person has said, I have a dream of being the next best, blase blase, the greatest of all time, this and this. But every time you see them, Badger, you ride by their house and they're sitting on the front porch, hanging out with the boys, smoking and drinking and stuff like that. How and I say, well, they could do that until the time that they land on their back looking at the ceiling in the church. And and what did you say to me to that?
Perception.
Wow.
I mean,
It's Friday.
it's that individual. If an individual has a dream and that's all they're choosing to do because they think it's going to fall on their lap, that is their perception. Now, if they come to me and go, "Hey, I have a dream. Will you help me accomplish it?" That's a whole nother conversation.
That's not the
But
question I asked
you have a very just blanketed question, and
Mhm.
that's my answer to it.
Okay, good. Okay, well, we'll let you stay with that answer. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
No, what's so it's the old men dream dreams. Okay, so it's kind of like a reflection of almost what someone may perceive, a gaze. I'm not trying to define it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm trying to visualize dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, Martin Luther had a dream.
Mm-hmm.
He looked out as he saw the world react and the people react to one another. And he says, through the course of time, in where he was and trying to be an activist and preacher and knowing who God was and how he works,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he saw us all together. He says, I ain't gonna get there with you. I ain't gonna get there with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I seen the mountaintop.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know the whole speech. It's a
Mhm.
shame that all these years I don't know the speech.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what he said. So it's kind of like looking at things beyond what actually is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost can be almost an awakening. What?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Come
you
on.
say
Come on, you
it's
going
almost,
somewhere.
it can be an awakening because if we look at society now, you have to have a hope, a
Mm-hmm.
dream
Mm-hmm.
of, to one day it'll be better. Because I look at if the young man's to see a vision, and old men dream dreams. That's in Acts 17, I think it is something like that. Anyway, um, even in this right here, I can you ever have you ever visualized? Look at let me do something, and I'm gonna shut up. Look at that background that I got. Look at that.
Yeah, fine ice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These fish clashing together. Well, let me try to dream this thing out. Suppose they would embrace themselves.
Mm.
That's how you have two opposing forces. It would probably have something that would be neutral. Opposites attract. So I'm dreaming that out.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I mean, I don't know if this is gonna be the whole topic, but that's something there, Raheem. I hope somebody else that's smarter than I will come on and help us with this one, because you must have had your head in the back of your neck, and your hands in the back of your head, sitting in the rocking chair. Say, what we're gonna talk about today? What's a dream?
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times people get so caught up in their dreams, and they want to be their dreams to be realistic. But Tucson Badger, if a person does not put in any work, I used to say this all the time. God will provide even for the birds, but He's not going to drop it in the nest. That bird has to get out of that nest and go get it. God will provide everything that you need. Everything that you need is provided for you, but you have to get up and go out there and get it. If you don't get up, go out there and get it, then you're gonna be sitting in that nest. And if you're not very careful with yourself, you're going to be that very one that's laying on his back, looking at the top of the church.
Now that is more of a direct question.
No, 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 no. The first one was very direct. It was your perception of what you took from it. It was perception. Ain't that what you say all the time? It was perception.
Exactly. Yeah,
Ah, see,
that's true.
look at there, Tucson. Look at there.
Uh,
When
you're
Tucson
right.
say, "Wow,"
Look
look
at
at there,
that.
look at there. It's
Well,
all
that
about perception. Hmm.
yeah.
But go ahead,
Matter
brother.
of fact, the comment I said when I first hopped in here,
Hmm.
people get content and they don't go forward. They don't
Hmm.
grow. They choose to stay where they're at, even when all those doors are provided for them.
Mm.
So that's why the word perception always comes to mind for me. Because if you're not able to see that opportunity, then you're going to miss it
Mm.
time and time again.
Hmm.
So if you have a dream,
What is a dream?
you know, that a hope or something that gave a human being the idea that they're going to be a rock star or all kinds of different things.
Hmm.
And sometimes they get lucky, and I mean lucky, and they get on these TV shows and, you know, they win and they get a chance to make a record label. And then everything else is up to them and the people that want to buy it.
Mm.
And then there are sports stars, same scenario, and so on and so on. And then there are those that they want to be the best human they can be to help others. That's a whole different kind of dream. So, or vision. I kind of like Donald's approach, the old man dreams and the young people have visions. I find that a very interesting terminology that I can't wait for him to expand on more.
Mm. Hmm. Okay, but my thing is this right here, talking about dreams, and like I said earlier, man, a lot of times, people can dream. They can have all kind of dreams. We all have dreams. Hopefully, everybody have a dream. Hopefully, not everybody do, but hopefully, everybody have a dream. But Tucson, if you don't give that dream some legs, what is it?
A wishing well.
Hmm.
You ever saw somebody that waste their money by throwing it in a wishing well? I'm sorry, there are some people that already done it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, quarters, nickels, and dimes. That's what it's about to.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing it in the wishing well. If you don't get off your dairy end and do anything, you might as well throw your money in the wishing well.
Yeah.
Hope that is not hope at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you can see hope, it ain't hope.
Mm-hmm.
So a dream is defined as is a. I hope I can read. A dream is a succession of images, ideas, emotions, and sensations that usually occur involuntarily in the mind during certain stages of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I bought me a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to learn how to play. I dreamed of being this musician, you know. And I bought a nice one. I'm talking about
Mhm.
it was big as almost big as a couch.
Come on.
And I would, you know, diddle daddle, trying to make my dream happen.
Mm-hmm.
And months later, after not having the um I guess it wasn't in me.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And my son comes, he says to me, he says, Daddy, you can't play.
Lord. Lord.
He said, yeah, I mean, so let me just say this. They got people that you know, they desire to be this great football player, but you can't play basketball. You can't shoot. This great runner. You're not fast, sir, ma'am. And you know, here's the thing about what you in the area you talk about, Raheem. You don't even exercise,
Come on.
and you want to be first. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not in you.
Mm-hmm.
Eating cookies and cake, pie and
Milk
ice,
and cookies. Exactly. Exactly.
pie and ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
and want to be a bodybuilder. You're going about it the wrong way.
You're on the road. You're on the wrong road, brother. You're on a road, but it ain't
Stop
the right
it.
road.
Stop
Yeah.
it. Stop
Yeah.
it. But watch this right here. Watch this. Watch this dream of mine turn around. My son says to me, he says, but if you give it to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'll learn how to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, boy, you ain't gonna do nothing. Took me about, I guess it might have been 4, 5 more months, 3, 4 months more. And he said, Daddy, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally, I said, here you go, bro. I said, son, look, let me tell you. But if you don't learn it, I'm going to take this keyboard and I'm going to slam it against the tree.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he took 2 lessons that at the time his mama paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And they would laugh at him. They would laugh at him. They'd laugh with him. But Raheem, he got with the right people.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Come on.
He got
Come on.
with those that were skilled
Mm-hmm.
in that area. And he you know, pedal around with it. And about a year later, I hear this good sound bass key.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a good bass. And I'm looking around and I say, and I'm gonna shut off like that. I'm gonna leave it like this. My dream came alive.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't do it. There are some people that dream. Remember what he showed. Remember what I think it was Jacob. I think he was seeing them ascending and descending. I'm gonna have to find that too. But sometimes we can see things, but we won't be able to do it ourselves. It's not in us, but it may be in our seed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
So anyway, I like that story.
Look, that was such a nice story. Such a nice story. It was such a nice story. Let me go to Ryan. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning. How you doing?
Hey, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, man. Ryan, we asked a question, man. You got a friend, and they say they're gonna be the best. They have a dream of being the best, whatever it is they want to do. But every time you see them, you ride by their house, you see them, they sitting on the porch, drinking or smoking or doing whatever they're doing, but they're doing nothing to obtain their dream. But they promise you now they're gonna be the best blah 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 that there has ever been. Ryan, what's in a dream?
I ain't got no friends, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just playing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what they doing is dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
They go sit there on the porch every day doing the same thing. That's what they do, and they dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
They dream about stuff they never gonna accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time, when you have a dream, what is it? There's things going on in your mind that 9 times out of 10, probably closer to 9.9 times out of 10, ain't never gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to talk down, right? People have dreams and aspirations all the time, but most people don't live to fulfill their dreams or their goals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I look at my life in a nutshell. I had big dreams of being a federal agent and doing this and that for the Fed, and went to school for it, wasted all kinds of money, and now I'm over here supervising tires.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Wasted all that money and time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still got dreams though. They're different dreams now. They've changed, you know. I'm doing school for some other things, and not gonna put my plans out on the world, you know what I'm saying? But somebody steal my idea, and then I might end up in jail, you know.
Exactly.
I got jokes today. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to see people do that, right? On a humane level, like you see these people, and you know them, and they talk about all these cool things they want to do. Some of them have really great ideas that would take off, right? They really go somewhere. Man, that's a really good idea. You should look into that. Yeah, I know, man. I'm gonna do that. And then they sitting there on the porch, smoking themselves stupid.
Yep.
Drink until they can't get up off the porch.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you say something, you mention something about it, then they want to get mad.
Yeah.
Get their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't my friend. It's crazy.
Man, you just trying to kill my dreams. Trying to kill my dreams. Nah, it might be the drug and alcohol killing your dreams, brother. You know, I'm here trying to point it out. It might be the drug and alcohol, or you just sit on this porch every day. Might be what's killing your dreams. But yeah.
My favorite is people who say that they smoke so much they smart.
Wow.
The weed don't do nothing to me. It makes me smarter. Gives me more focus. Like, what'd you say, Tucson?
I say, is that what happened?
Those people you walk away from, man. It's like, all right, you done already smoked yourself stupid.
You already turn around backwards. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I mean, that's just the way things are.
Mm,
There's plenty of people like that every day, and many of them don't ever become something greater.
mm,
Yet that is their choice,
mm,
and that's an unfortunate reality.
mm. Can it be a little depressing watching somebody go through that whole situation, knowing that they're not doing? They may have all the ability or skills in the world, but they're not utilizing their skills. Can it be a little bit depressing watching them do that?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Why? It ain't. It's not your dream. It's their dream. Why you even worried about it? It's their life. They want to live the life the way they want to live their life. So why you worried about it?
But sometimes in this life, some of the people we meet, we can see so much good in them that we don't want to see them throw it away.
Mm-hmm. Why?
So much potential.
What is it your concern though? Is their life. If they want to throw their life away, let them throw their life away. You ain't got nothing to do with their life. It's their life. Let them live their life the way they want to live their life, right?
That's definitely a perception.
Mm-hmm. But that's not an answer to my question.
Trying to figure out what exactly you're looking for.
Nothing. Whatever your answer is.
That is my answer.
Mm. So
Is
my
it's an unfortunate reality that
mhm.
many people are afraid.
Many people what?
I've seen many people with, I would say, dreams that throw it away because they're worried. They're
Mm-hmm.
afraid of
But
it
my,
not
but my que-
succeeding.
but my question is, what is it to you though? If it's their life, they live their life. They don't want to live their life. If they want to throw their dream away, what is it to you? What does that matter to you? It's their life. It ain't affecting your life at all.
Hmm. You know, I guess in some ways it's not.
Mm-hmm. So why would you worry about it?
That's a fair question.
Okay. Do you have a fair answer?
If it's somebody I care about, then it's just me wanting to see them succeed.
Why?
Because I think that'd be what's best for them.
How can you tell somebody what's best for them? It's their life.
No, that's their perception. If they feel that that's their goal and their dream to be the best being that they can be, then who am I to say no?
Mm. You just said that you want them to succeed because it's their aspiration and different things like that. I ask you why, and you want a totally different direction with me. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what's up, brother? Talk to me. Tucson, you there?
You know, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Um, I had to switch up a little bit. I got there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but at least I got a dream. Yeah, it's my dream. I got a dream of sitting down in on an island somewhere. I ain't gonna what is drinking in multi. I ain't gonna whatever. I can't pronounce it. Whatever it is. Just kind of secluded and not having to go to work. No, but if I don't have nothing if I'm not putting nothing into my dream, it's kind of like peeing in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a dream is.
Yeah. Yeah.
With no effort
Mm-hmm.
to carry it out. There's nothing wrong with dreams. There's nothing wrong with having this insight, this vision, this uh look ahead
Mm-hmm.
or look behind to try to make the past a little better. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I started with Martin Luther that had I have a dream. But his dream took his life. can see some of it. Now, it's effort to carry out the dream. You know what I'm saying? The dream is kind of like a look, a kind of picture. I don't know, a scan at something. It's like trying to be, but if you want to be a rocket scientist and you dumb as a box of rocks,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But what you're saying and what you're talking, I think what you're talking about is people that have a want to do, and they're not doing anything to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, here you are, and you got great aspirations, and I might as well go ahead and tell you, this confession is good for the soul.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I used to sit down there and be smart, like Ryan was saying. I was real smart. Smoking that, it wasn't blunt back in our days. It was just, I don't know what we
Just roll them up.
did. We call it blunt?
No.
We just rolled whatever it was.
Back in the day, it was called a joint. Roll a joint. That's what it was.
Joint. Yeah. Yeah, you just roll up your joint.
Mm-hmm.
Get your cigarette paper and you add them together. Depends on how big you want it.
Yeah.
But I took one of them dreaming. But I got lost. I got lost in the traffic circle. That's how smart I was.
Wow. Going around and round, and will it go around
Going
in
around
circles?
Going around in circles. Flying high like a bird up in the sky.
Lord. Boy, you need to put that down. You need to put that one down, brother. That wasn't the one for you. That was not the one for you. Let me go to Rico. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. Out here getting it in. Happy to see another day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rico, we asked, and good to have you, brother. We asking a question, man. You have a friend, and they're always telling you how great they're gonna be. They're gonna do all this different thing. They have a dream of doing this and obtaining that. But every time you see them, Rico, every time you ride by the house, they sitting on the front porch, drinking and smoking, hanging out with the fellas. But they have a dream. Rico, what's in a dream?
The same thing the definition said the dawn of day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a key word in that.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And mind. So now if you want to use it as if you want to relate that to ambitions and aspirations, we must be saying that people are walking around with their eyes open in motion, but they still sleep in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
If we saying why ain't they chasing their dreams?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're not chasing their ambitions and aspirations, there's only so many of these conversations I can sit back and have while I'm just, look at them. They're sitting up there. Look at them. Sooner or later, you got to ask yourself, man, why?
Yep.
I know why. Some of them know how to tools. Some of them know how to structure.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't know how to communicate. Some of them don't know how the basic skills to take the first step. If you don't know no better, you can't do no better, so you get lost and confused. They call them vices, coping mechanisms. Some people eat. Some people drink. Some people come up with all type of different distractions to cope with the fact that they don't know how to get to their dream or their ambitions or their aspirations. But I ain't going to use dream because the definition said what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will use dream as long as we admit that we're talking about human beings that are walking around with their eyes open, but they still mentally sleep. Then we're going to have to speak on everybody walking this planet.
Mm-hmm. So that's everybody.
Well, speak on everybody.
Mm.
And we speaking about dreams because right about now, everybody walking around halfway think they know what they're doing, but they still sleeping caught up in these distractions, these man-made vices, all these different systems and institutions that we have accepted and called. Look at our standards. Look at our standards and values. We talk about it every day. Now, some people realize that, some of these standards and values that we live on, they go completely against the natural creation. They go completely against human rights, natural common sense. But we abide by it. right now we talk about money, currency, reserve notes, paper, and don't even realize that we conform to a construct of having our lives depend on paper to survive and live. All of us living on a dream. Now it's a necessity. We've been forced to do it because if we don't get that money, we won't eat. But at the same time, how consumed have we become for that money? So yeah, I'm gonna say everybody, because it's a lot of conversations we had to let me know that we still don't get it. There's only so many times you can ride by and say, "Look at them out there sitting on the corner smoking pot." Y'all seen that video I sent you? Y'all ain't seen that video I sent you?
When you sent it?
Oh man, I sent it yesterday, but y'all don't watch stuff I be sending y'all. I just thought about that. It's a video I shared, and somebody made a music video out of it, and it's a hot little song. But it's a woman sitting in the truck, sitting over there pointing out what the people on the corner doing, complaining. Look at them over there sitting on the corner smoking pot, marijuana. But she don't know what they done had going on in their past. They got them in a situation where they don't take advantage of their talent. But yeah, I'm like Badger. I get what you was asking. It is sort of disappointing to see somebody have so much great potential and so much talent, such gifts, such intelligence. But then sometimes you, instead of just being critical and noticing it, get sincere and start deep, get down deep and ask why, because something had to happen. Something had to happen. But either they didn't have the resources or the training or the structure or the basic necessities or tools to get on the right page or to get on the right path in the first place, or once they start finding out a way to get there, it was too late. Like a 40-year-old wanting to play professional football.
Well, I can say this right here because a lot of times I've heard many times on here, and I listen to what people say, and one of the things that you say, I do listen to a lot of the videos that you send me. I do listen to it. As a matter of fact, you and I talk about a lot of the videos, so I do look at some. I don't look at all of them, but I do look at some of them. But my thing is this right here. I've heard people say, well, you know, it's perception. Badger says like it's perception and how you perceive and different things like that. I asked him the question, and because I've heard other people say it's their life, let them live their life the way they want to live their life. You know, what difference does it make to you how they decide to live their life if they don't want to pursue their dreams? So I asked the question, why is it important? Why does it even matter? Why does it matter? Rico, I'm talking to you now. Why does it matter if they decide to not pursue their dreams, aspirations?
Because
why does it matter?
Because if you, I think if you're really in a position, or if you're really on this planet where you love good and righteousness, you hate to see greatness go to waste. Plain and simple. Who likes to see good or worse, something that's truly valuable, go to waste? It's just common sense.
How many
so
of
if
us?
I see somebody got a lot of potential, I'm gonna try to try to give us some positive reinforcement and let them know, hey man, you got a gift.
Oh, that's good.
You know, you really got a talent right there. I mean, because who likes to see talents go to waste?
Absolutely.
That's a positive thing.
Oh, that's good. And truth of the matter, I agree with you. But how often is it that we see somebody with all that potential and we go in, we step in, we try to do something, reinforce or spark them in a certain way, and it never happens and they never do it.
I mean, it happens. I mean, that's life. I mean, and some of them can't get out of it because they're too caught up or they're too lost or it's too far gone. I mean, but at least you tried. But do you understand why they might be like that, even if they're making those choices? Is it because they had to put their brother and sister in the freedom, they just traumatized and they don't like people? They, you know, post-traumatic stress syndrome is real. Disorder. Some people ain't people. I mean, they talk about all the time how people are undiagnosed. We got to understand the mind. You said the dream, mind and sleep. Now, all of a sudden, we still want to always ignore the fact that some of these people that have all these talents still might have some mental trauma, some things going on inside of them that ain't been fixed.
That's true. That's true. But at the end of the day, it have to be their decision because, like you say all the time, Rico, you can lead a horse to water, but you can never make him drink.
Right. So how long you gonna talk about it? I mean, once you do this and you see what it is, either you recommend getting them some mental help, and if they don't want it, you keep it moving, but you're just gonna keep on riding by. Say, look at him sitting on the porch smoking pot.
So they become at that
There
point.
he is again over there smoking pot. You
So
know,
at that
you know
point,
what, man?
at that
I
point, they
see
become a
what's going on
casualty
with
of
that
war.
dude, man. That dude got some issues, man. He had a rough life coming up.
So
He's traumatized and never got help.
Rico, listen to them. At that point, is it that they become a casualty of war because you tried and they don't want to do anything? So do they just become a casualty of war, another dead body in the box?
Well, I guess you need to probably ask some of them people that can't come out of those thoughts. The people that shell shocked and still have flashbacks of being on. The people that got triggers. The people that they go in the shell.
We're not talking about that part.
And don't like to deal with humanity.
We're talking about the people that just
There's a reason why they do it.
Okay, but we're talking about the people. No, we're not talking about the trauma situation that been the war situation. We're talking about this average guy or the average girl that's there, that's not utilizing their full potential. And it may be because they're lazy, maybe because they're afraid or something like that. And you go to them and you try to help that particular person, but because of the fact that they don't receive the help that you're trying to give, and you do it in the goodness of your heart, you're doing it for the right reasons. You're not, you don't want anything from them. You're not, you don't have any motivation and ulterior motives in doing this. But if they decide not to do anything, do they just become another casualty of war in this thing called life?
I mean, yeah. I mean, how much can you give? I mean, I think, man, that's another obvious question. Yeah, if they don't do it, they'll become a casualty.
Okay.
I mean, you sort of answered the question with the question.
Yeah. Oh, and I was posing a question for a reason though. But let me go to Captain. Captain, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Raheem. Good morning to my family, Morning Glow family.
Good morning to you as well, sir. Good to have you this morning. We're talking about, you see people, and Cap, I know you see it all the time, people that has all the potential in the world. They have the dreams. They have a dream of doing this or being the next greatest blah, blah, blah. But every time you see them, they're sitting on the porch hanging out with the fellas or the girls, drinking and smoking and not moving in the direction of obtaining their dreams. I'm asking the question, what is a dream?
Well, you just described everybody. I mean, I like what Rico said, man. Rico, good morning, Rico. You my man, man. And them walks really be doing something for you, partner. You be in, you make actual sense sometimes out of nonsense. But he said it. One of the things he said, a key word was the word sleep. And Rico talked about people's eyes are wide open with their sleep. Well, if we look at the terminology of sleep, it's a state of not consciousness. People that are asleep are unconscious. So how can you make a conscious decision being unconscious? It just don't go together. It just don't go together. So most of us live a life of unconsciousness. And we use the term all the time. So, yo, man, you ain't conscious, dude. She ain't conscious. Well, what do you mean? What do we mean when we say they're not conscious? That means they're not aware. That's all. They're not aware. So every human being that you look on this planet, all of us, we absolutely do walk around here not aware. We are absolutely asleep. We are unconscious. Listen to me. We are unconscious to reality. We're not conscious to reality. So therefore, people that are unconscious, dreamers, as we may call them, they're not able to make a conscious decision that would make their dream a reality.
And you say that's everybody?
Make a conscious decision. Mostly. We all like that. Let me see this. You can't tell me everybody on this. I like when my man. Hey Ryan, you my man too. Ryan said he had potential, man. He wanted to be an FBI agent, work for the government. He said, look what I'm doing. I'm watching some tires. Hey Ryan, listen, man. I feel you. But as long as you alive and you got breath in your body, Ryan, never think that you could never fulfill your dreams. Now you may kill somebody and go to the federal penitentiary. Well, you're working for the government now. You're out there making license plates. So
Lord.
They tell you, listen, man, we know that your damn books ain't right. So now you either become an informant or you go to jail. But the bottom line is, my point. Everybody, as long as they live and still have life and breath in their body, still, check this out, have the opportunity to fulfill their dreams. You know, I was part of Spike Lee Do the Right Thing, the Nation of Islam, We the Nation. Spike hired us in most of his movies for the FOI to do his security. We did Do the Right Thing in Brooklyn, hottest day of the year in Brooklyn, when he shot the movie, the famous movie Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
I'm on the set, right? I'm on the set. I'm over all the fruit. You know, we got the whole set on lock. And I remember Samuel L. Jackson. He called it We Daddy Love. Samuel L. Jackson had just all these years. He used to be crack. He used to be on crack.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson fulfilled his dream at the age of about 50, man. It took him almost 50 years old, man, to become a movie star. That now, when you look at Samuel L. Jackson, he's a movie star. But I'm sure, man, that, you know, he had the dream of acting, and many people say, oh, man, get on the bike. Let me get that fight. You're talking out your mind, dude. You're a movie star. I never. So, but look at him. The minister, Honorable Minister Farrakhan, turned 90 last week, May 11th. Turned 90 years old.
Yes, sir.
90. He's an accomplished violinist.
Yes.
He put the violin down because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him either he was going to be come in the nation and do this work, or just go in entertainment, because the minister was in the entertainment business. And the minister at 27 years old gave up the entertainment business, put the violin down.
Yeah.
He picked the violin back up at the age, man, of 69 and 70. You hear me? He picked it back up. And man, now the minister plays with a symphony. I mean, the minister's a bad man. But that was his goal. That was his dream. And some people say, well, you'll never forget it. But he fulfilled it. I have many dreams. You have dreams. Everybody on the line got dreams, which is goals. Some of them is, you know, some of them are like they are. They just fantasy. Sometimes we mix dreams with fantasy. You know? And that's a fantasy, but it's somebody's dream. Thank God that he gives man and woman the ability to dream. And that's our ability to move beyond sometimes reality. And if you get high,
does dreams have to have legs?
High, you smoke that weed, you're trying to deal with reality.
Captain, does dreams have to have legs?
Well, yeah, some people can put legs in those dreams. But you know, like Rico said, sometimes, man, you know, you see people with potential and you try to help them. All right? And some people get there, they'll tell you, man, if it wasn't for so-and-so, they gave me that opportunity, man. And they get to be given the Oscar. They stand up there. First, I want to thank my mother who believed in me. I want to thank my uncle. I want to thank my grandmother. I want to thank my coach. But there's some people that help you fulfill your dreams. And of course, there are some apples that just fall by the wayside. That's in the scripture. Fall by the wayside. There's some seeds that fall among stony thorns and unfertile land. And some fall in fertile ground. But that's life.
Wow.
And that's just the way life is. And as we move, and then we're talking on this show, which is beautiful. I like Tucson's story about he had the keyboard. You know, he had Bishop to play the keyboard. But the reality, his son came and told him the reality. Pop, come on, partner. Come on, old dude. Come on.
Now you know good and well.
His dream,
yeah,
his dream was fulfilled through his son. So I think, Raheem, you know, we all have great dreams. Some of them dreams we can call goals. Some of them very unrealistic, you know. I want to be one day to be an astronaut. Man, That's good dreaming. But one thing about dreams, we all know this. See, dreams only come to sleepers.
Mm-hmm.
And when the sleeper wake up, there goes the dream. You can't control the dream. You can't go to sleep and say, you know what? I'm gonna get right back to that dream while I just open up that suitcase of money. Let me get right back to that dream. Well, I'm getting ready to get back to you. Wake up right when you're getting ready. The girl tell you to come on in, the lights off, and you've been chasing this all your life. Now your dream is here, and all of a sudden you wake up.
And then
Can you get back to that? No.
Somebody wake you up out of somebody wake you up out of your sleep, and you trying to rush to go back to sleep. So I want to get back. Let me go to
dreams.
Yeah.
Can't control it, but that's me. That's what I was on my heart for, right?
Good day. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart? Talk to me, brother.
You know what can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I just seen?
What's that?
A blind man walking on the sidewalk by himself. I just seen that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's trying to get somewhere by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, I don't know if he had somebody bring him that way wherever he's going. I don't know how he is functioning. He got his cane. He got his shades on. I don't know if he's faking or not because I didn't stop to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing he's doing, he's moving.
Yeah.
He has no vision. But he has a tangible desire. I just need to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to say that. Yeah, Cap, I like that story. I really like that story. Because, you know, there are some people. I think that a Christian's dream. My favorite song during the funerals is I bow my head and cry glory. It's a song that talks about the lyrics are I dream of a city called glory.
Mm-hmm.
You can dream all you want. I'm just saying from what you can dream, for instance, about going to, per se, heaven, or being in that heavenly, or being with God. But if the lifestyle don't fit your desires, you ain't going there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
It does. It does.
Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember that?
Yes, sir. Screwface.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got the bad thing. I guess the good thing or the bad thing about it is, to get where we're trying to go, you got to leave here.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. All of us dreaming, but we live in this life of I don't know. It's not even reality.
Mm-hmm.
This life ain't even real. It's a vanity. All
Mm-hmm.
that's what the prophets say. Vanity. All is vanity. You wake up, you go to sleep, the sun rises, the sun go down, and you do the same thing. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So some people live like that. They just get up and go to bed. Eat, sleep, just eat, sleep, and drink, and be merry. And so, I don't know what you're saying. I think is that people with aspirations, I guess that's the word. That let me say like this, and I'll shut up. I had a friend. I mean, the best athlete I ever seen in my life. I would call his name, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm talking about this dude was bad. He had He can jump higher than ever seen somebody slam dunk. He can play baseball. He can play football. He was a great hurler. He could have been great. I'm talking about, he said, man, I whip anybody. You know, I hope to be this. But Raheem, you know what? He had one problem that got in his way.
What's that?
He was a thief. I saw this guy go in the store and steal and didn't get caught. 2 cases of beer.
Good Lord.
And didn't get caught. He set one on the ice machine and he took it, went back in the store and got another one, took it, and then got at the counter and asked me to buy him a soda. I said, come on, Wayne.
Wow. Oh.
Dream to be great, to go to the Olympics. But that thief caught up with it.
Yeah.
That him being a thief got caught up. I just want to add to the conversation. I'm just trying to be part of the conversation. Right?
Hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
I gotta go to therapy, man. Hopefully I'll be back.
Okay. Good deal. Hope everything goes well, brother. Hope everything goes well. Ryan, talk to me.
Yes, sir.
Ryan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. It'll take a second on the phone line to unmute. I mean, I don't really know where to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch too many people waste their life on drugs and alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and not ever make anything of themselves, despite copious amounts of help being offered to them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can call me mean-spirited or not.
Non-caring.
I don't know, a good friend, but I can't waste my time on stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
anymore. I've soaked too much energy into it, and dished out too much money, too much time, and for what? For someone just to go to jail or end up dead.
Mm.
So, you know, it's a hard thing. Don't get me wrong, I don't get any pleasure out of saying things like that.
Yeah.
At all. But it's one of those things where you get burned so many times, you just don't want to be involved with it no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say if somebody reaches out for help in a certain situation that I'm going to turn them down every time, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I still help people on a regular.
Mm-hmm.
But when people talk about their hopes and dreams and this, that, and the other thing, and you watch them take a whole sheet of acid and turn themselves into a vegetable, I got nothing for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We're talking about what is a dream. And I think it's been the word dream has been taken out of context of what I was, meaning for it to be. We know that a dream is something that people do when they go to sleep, but I'm talking about it from a different angle, from a different aspect. People have aspirations. People have things that they want to obtain in life, but if they're not doing anything, and I asked many times before, if the dream don't have legs, as I have said, God will provide everything that you need, even for the birds in the tree, but he's not going to drop it in the nest. We have to get some motivation within ourselves. We have to get out there and do the things that we have to do to make those dreams, quote unquote, aspirations, if you will, come to reality. And sitting on the front porch, drinking and smoking and hanging out with the fellas or the girls, you're not doing anything to obtain your dream at that particular time. You're not adding legs to your dreams or, quote unquote, again, your aspirations. So what are we to do? How do we get an individual to move forward? And at what point do you say, like Ryan just said, man, people get frustrated trying to help and nobody wants to do anything to help themselves. We want to help everybody. We really do. I'm sure that everybody on here want to help everybody and do what's best for everybody. But an individual have to want for themselves as well. Or they'll be, like I said earlier, looking, laying on their back, staring at the top of the church. Laying on their back, staring at the top of the church. Well, you know they're not really staring, but I think you get the picture. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
If it gets to that point where you telling somebody this and they still just don't get it, then you might, like I said, have to go back to ask why they're like that.
Mm-hmm.
Start fixing some of that stuff that happened in the past. You remember I told you about the dude that didn't know gold came from the earth?
Mm-hmm.
I also said that let me know that I was going to have to go back to third grade level with a lot of stuff on him.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to meet people where they are and relate and understand where they are so you can start from there. They ain't not saying that you got to live in that existence,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to understand the type of mind you're dealing with. And then once you understand what caused these traumas and what needs to be fixed, what you need to go back and repair, because there's a lot of repair needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And then they still don't want to do it, then you pray. You move on and pray because you see that you don't have what it takes to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And they like where they are because they still need what they need to cope. But I ain't gonna just keep on riding by. Look at you just sitting up there smoking. I just look at you sitting over there. I mean, how many people want to be fine and fit? They don't want to make the effort. They're going to get BBLs. They're taking the cheap way out.
And see, but Rico,
I mean,
do you agree? Do you agree that sometimes?
Go
Do you agree that sometimes in some situations, and we're not gonna say it all, we're not gonna paint this with a wide brush, but sometimes people are just they haven't necessarily been through anything like you're talking about right now. Sometimes people are just lazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, and if that's the case, there's still a reason behind it. If they just lazy, pray for them. What you gonna do? They're gonna keep on riding by pointing at them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times can you just sit back and say, "Look at them, look at them, look at them, look at them"? Oh, forget it. Let it. That's them. They love it. If you like it, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But at least I tried. At least I tried to tell you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you asked Badger earlier. You know, man, listen. If we, I ain't gonna even say we. If people are true believers in the word,
mm-hmm.
and they believe the story of if the devil being cast down to earth and this is his playground, this is his domain,
mm-hmm.
then obviously the reality is man, it's challenging trying to live on this planet. When you do, I mean, you know how many times people have had jobs available, and then they tell you there's a limited amount of people that they're gonna accept. Somebody gonna get left out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I wanted to go to the airport. I just wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to fly jets. They said, you go in the Navy, but now it was a stigma about the Navy. Them Navy guys, they were sort of, you know, had the stereotype of being fruity out there on that water. You know, that came from a long time ago. I didn't want no part of that Navy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the time that I wanted to go in, they disqualified me. I found out why. At that time, the Navy was limited in how many people they were accepting because of budget cuts.
Mm-hmm. So
I missed out. That's what happens in this life, in this world. The reality is sometimes doors get shut on you. Sometimes you do things to earn the things you deserve and you don't get it. You know, I'm pretty sure there were 1,000,001 people before Martin Luther King had that same ambition and goal that he had. It might have been literally a dream that he had when he was asleep, playing with a little white girl, playing with little white boys, and ain't nobody saying nothing. Everything just rainbows and flowers, just like heaven on earth. Everybody wants that peace. But if it was this easy, then we wouldn't be talking about some of the things we're talking about. But man, this is a challenging life we live.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems, like I said, with some of these conversations, I understand that we really don't truly, sincerely understand or believe some of that stuff that the Bible even saying. Because if this is the devil's domain and this is hell on earth, then you got to know that there has to be a super challenge for people to make it. Because there's always going to be something put in place, an obstacle, something going against you. And your whole life, you're going to be going against different things, spirits, energy, people that's going to be against you because of this world that we live in. So in some way you have to, I mean, I don't go to church. I don't read no Bible, but I get it. I get what it can do to people mentally. That's where resilience comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where being focused comes in. That's where not being distracted comes in. That's where not indulging comes in. All these different temptations and vices that you get offered from man. I mean, we got a lot of obstacles to survive. It ain't that easy, you know. So it's not like you're trying to give people a pass for being where they are, but at the same time, it's only so many times you can sit on your porch or ride by on your horse and keep on saying, "Look at them, they're sitting over that shucking, jiving, sorry, shiftless." You know, because some of them black guys in the past that they were calling shiftless, they didn't have no choice but to be. Imagine some of them people that had a dream before Martin Luther King, they got tired of working for free.
See, I guess a part of what I'm talking about is motivation. A person have to have a certain motivation, because if you and there are vices, I'll grant you that there are vices out there. But my question is, if you don't have certain motivation, or you don't want to get out there and make something happen, then those vices gonna always be a part of your existence. They're not gonna go away.
Right.
They're not gonna go away. And so you have to have a motivation. You have to have motivation. Go ahead.
Either on the outside looking in, you have to be a motivator, or you have to move on about your business. But to just sit back and just keep on talking about them, that ain't helping nothing. That's just you recognizing it. Like you said earlier, what do you care?
Exactly.
If you ain't gonna motivate them, if you ain't gonna help them, then keep it pushing. Or just protect yourself from them if you feel like you're in danger from them.
And see, that's my whole thing right there. My whole thing, and I appreciate what you just said, but my main thing is just, we're gonna go to Badger, be on standby. We're gonna my thing is, a person, individual, have to have certain motivations in their lives, or those same vices that we're speaking of will consume them, and they'll find themselves in a situation where, when I moved to South Carolina, I lived in West Columbia for a while. When I moved from Hawaii, I moved to South Carolina, West Columbia, and I used to go down. You know, they had a park down there, and everybody used to meet in the park in the middle of the day, shoot basketball. It's spring and summertime. I'm out there shooting ball with the fellas for about 2 or 3 days. And one day, you know, we got finished playing and everything. And I asked him, I said, "Man, look here, man. What are jobs at around here, man?" I know I told the story before. What are jobs at around here? He talking about jobs, man, and they had all the fellas, man. They was all talking about, you know, laughing and stuff, talking about ain't no jobs around here, man. Blah 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 blah. You know, man, you might as well just come on down here and shoot ball with us every day, man. You know, this is what we do, man. Want a beer? You know, here to have a beer. I said, "Nah, man, I'm good on that, man." And I went home with a you know, not feeling so good, man. I went home not feeling so good. The next morning, I got up bright and early in that morning. Instead of going down there playing basketball, I got myself dressed and I walked. And I walked for miles, man. Walked for miles, going from business to business, asking who's hiring. I went into this one place, and this, when I first moved to South Carolina, I went to this place, Western Auto. They don't even have them anymore. Y'all remember Western Autos? I went in there, man, and I was sweating all over the place, man. I was, you know, it was hot outside, man. I was sweating like crazy. Clothes that I had on that looked good when I first walked out the door, not so good right now. I'm sweaty. And I went in there and talked to the people. It was Mr. and Miss Ott. I remember their names. I think both of them are gone home to glory, because they actually owned the store. And they said, what are you doing, young man? I said, well, you know, I'm trying to find a job. And I told them I just moved here, blah, blah, blah. And they looked at me and said, why are you sweating like that? I said, I've been out here walking. And they say, "You've been out here walking, trying to find a job?" I said, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." He took me to the back in his office, set me down, and we talked for a few minutes. He, you know, got to know something about me. He said, "When can you start?" I said, "I can start now." He said, Nah, not looking like that." Basically what he was saying, not looking like that, you can't. But he gave me a job, and I walked back home. He told me to come back the next day. I walked back home, went by that same park. Everybody said, "Man, you ain't playing today, man. Why you dressed like that?" They skinning and grinning, right? I told them, "No, man, I got a job. I got to start working." And now they all like, "What you mean you got a job?" You know, but see, and I'm not no better, certainly not no better than anybody that's on that court. We all got the same thing in us. I just wasn't gonna stay there every day and going out there and shoot ball and not try to find some way of making some kind of income for myself. That's why I say you have to have a certain motivation, man. You got to have that motivation, because if you're not, them same vices will consume you. They will consume you. Badger, what's on your heart?
That's very true. That's that whole thing about people getting stuck where they're at. That's one of the biggest.
Is it a choice?
In many situations, yes.
Wow.
But sometimes we just have to keep walking forward, no matter, and it's difficult. It ain't no easy thing to do. I don't know how many times I thought about quitting
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just tired of dealing with human beings.
When
The
you say quitting,
selfishness and greed.
what exactly does that mean?
Don't come on the show anymore and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Not that dark.
Okay.
Not the super dark anymore.
Okay. Okay.
I've got rid of all that.
Okay. Good. I just want to be clear, brother. Just want to be clear.
No, I haven't had a thought like that in 7 years, 8 years.
That's good. That's good.
But no, it's just you. When you do your best to be positive, people say that you're over positive. When you do your best to try to, like, I guess you could call it a dream, is to start a nonprofit for, you know, families in my local area that can't afford to send their kids to certain type of classes and stuff, and constantly reaching out to people to see if anyone wants to help with it, and all of them saying no
Mm-hmm.
because it won't give them a profit, even though it could help the kids, get into different careers. Um, and that's kind of the wild part is there's a lot of people out there that's working hard every day to accomplish something. They may not think it's great, but other people do.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be very disheartening dealing with other humans because of this dog eat dog world. However, it's always having to step forward. I never imagined my back would be in the condition that it's in. So I've had to relearn different tactics to be able to keep walking forward. Um, and it's a journey. So, Raheem, did you freeze?
No, I shouldn't have.
Oh, okay. Um, and that is the most difficult thing is the healing journey. It's easy, and I know I'm going to make a lot of people mad, but it is what it is. Going to get all that alcohol to temporarily chase away those problems is the easy way.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be many people that there might be folks that disagree. But if you step back and look at all the people that have come from some of the worst situations you could think of that are working hard to keep going forward,
Mm-hmm.
compare them from that point of view.
Wow. Wow. That's good. That's good. Cap, talk to me.
Well, I feel you, Badger. I feel you. I feel what you're saying. You're absolutely. Sometimes we try all the time to do good,
Mm-hmm.
to help other people to achieve their goals. I mean, it's not easy, but I like your story, Raheem. Your story again is my story.
Yes, sir.
When I became a member of the nation, I was 18 years old. And all I knew every morning I woke up before I became a Muslim was who I was going to knock in the head,
Mm-hmm.
what purse I'm going to snatch,
Mm-hmm.
who I'm going to rob. That was my every waking thought. What can I do to hustle? Not, I'm going to get out and get a job. I remember Raheem one time, I said, you know what? My mama told me, boy, if you don't get a job, you got to leave. You got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's just where my mama and my pop was. You're not going to sit up here and not go to school. Now, you got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wasn't going to school. I dropped out. So I one day, like yourself, shoot, I'm going to get a job, man. I want this.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I went past the old corner where the old crew hang out. We used to hang out in front of the pool hall.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on my mission. So I go by the pool hall. They outside, like smoking some weed.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, what you doing, man? Yo, man, listen, fella. Shoot, I'm going to get a job, man. I got to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, okay, man. All right, okay. You want to hit this? Yeah. Because they wasn't doing no, test or, they wasn't doing that back in the day. You want to hit this? Yeah. Shoot, man, a couple good puffs. Next thing, I'm on the corner with a puff. Shoot, y'all. There ain't no daggone body slave. Man, please.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna work for no white man.
Mm-hmm.
Give me none of this. See, there I was.
Yeah.
See, one thing about that weed, weed make you very complacent to your own condition.
Mm-hmm.
I call the weed, hey Tucson, you're gonna appreciate this. I call the weed the mirror on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
See, because as soon as you smoke it, I used to smoke it. First thing you do is mirror on the wall. Who the fears of the law? And the mirror come back looking at you. Where's you, baby? You the fears. See, you could be dumb than all outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
But something about that weed make you think you're a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Something about that weed expand. You'll not only expand your faith, but expands your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is, it does not give you the physical motivation that you had.
Yeah.
When you went, see, I did that. Young man, I joined the nation. I went, man, I said, I'm going to get a job. This is the first time. Button up my shirt, look at it. Right, I buttoned my shirt all the way up.
Yes, sir.
And I never forget, I went to the Ohio State. I'm in Columbus. I went to the Ohio State campus. I did what the brothers told me to do in the mosque. When you go, you get a job. Say, yes, sir. No, sir. And then first, what he said, this is what I never forget. Say a prayer before you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Call on the God. And watch if the God don't bless you. So now I'm going to put this God to test.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm going to give the rest of my life to this God, I want to know if he will.
Yeah.
Okay. I went, and man, I went to fill out that, back then you had to fill out application. You didn't do nothing online.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm filling out the application. And the man comes out. He's looking at me. He looks at the application. He said, have you ever been employed? I said, no, sir. I said, sir, this is my first time looking for a job. I'm trying to do right, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make sure I don't go out there and do nothing wrong and live a life of crime, sir.
Yeah.
I'm saying, sir.
Yeah.
He looked at me. And then he said, you know what? This your lucky day.
Wow.
And they gave me a job, so help me God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on Ohio State University campus. Got benefits,
Mm-hmm.
nice job, and really was the only black person in the whole plant. There was a plant.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only first black one. There was another brother, but they called him Leroy, and that was not his name.
Mm-hmm.
So he had blended in with them. Man.
Yeah.
Time was real bad. But the bottom line is, I did what you did. And because sometimes you have to pursue it with yourself. So no matter how much you try to help, there's an old saying, Rico, and you probably heard this, Rico. You could take a horse to the water,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't make it drink.
Yeah.
You can give a man knowledge, but you can't make him think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no matter what we try to do in helping somebody else, if it's not in them, there ain't nothing we could do.
Mm-hmm.
But if even the eagle mother give the little eagle a nudge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The eagle, y'all see that.
Mm-hmm.
Eagle out there flapping his wings and feel that little lip. But look at that shoe.
Mm-hmm.
They give that little nudge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because either you're gonna fly or you're gonna die.
Exactly.
Sometimes we all need a little nudge.
Mm-hmm.
Some fly
Some don't make it.
Some die.
Exactly.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Let me go to we got Joseph. Joseph, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, family.
Hey, good to have you, brother. Good to have you.
How you doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good.
All right.
Today Friday, man. I'm having a good time. Having a real good time. What
I hear you, man. I was listening to your story, man. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You walked a long ways, boy.
Man, I had to go get it.
You were sweating down when you
Yes, sir. Hot, brother. You know, and look, in that South Carolina humidity, man, look here, bro. I don't know if you ever been to South Carolina, Columbia, but it's hot, brother. It is hot.
Boy, I can only imagine.
That humidity.
You know, I was thinking about the whole job experience. When Cap said he went to the university. Now, that university is supported by taxpayers' money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who's over the hiring? And been that way for centuries in terms of the public sector and the private sector. And so we've always had to go with our hats in our hand. But there were some brothers and sisters who started their whole towns, like Tulsa and different towns, Rosewood, different places. They started their own town. They did shopping with each other. They created their own jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, old Barry Gordy, I think he started with $400 and he started Motown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, it hit me in my spirit, man. I said, you know what? I need to be creating me a job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be working for everybody else. If they can do it, if other folks can do it, we can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I also know this though, Raheem. There was towns that black folks started that was confiscated under the eminent domain clause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Lands were taken away from them by the government.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, and then the people say, "Well, pull yourself up by your bootstrap," or they lazy and they, man. Nothing could be farther from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the brothers at the pool hall. I understand the brothers down at the basketball court when you constantly fighting up against, an enemy that's determined to keep you in a certain spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, doing the civil rights, man, I've gone to different companies, man, where they were just blatantly discriminating against our people.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to raise as much hell as I could. You understand? I try to make sure that they understand there's somebody out here that'll fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't want my grandson to take no for an answer. I don't want him to think that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to ever think. If you can't get a job, create one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Start a detailed center. Go wash cars.
Mm-hmm.
And turn it into a business.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. we down. That's what we're doing in Griffin now. We trying to show young men how to start your own business.
Mm-hmm.
Cut hair, do anything, but don't just do nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because people want us to consign ourselves to hopelessness. No, if you making it, I'm gonna make it too, or ain't none of us gonna make it.
That's right. That's right.
That's my attitude.
Absolutely. Again, 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're asking, what is a dream? What is a dream? Our topic today is, what is a dream? If you know somebody that has a dream, aspiration, if you will, to be great, but every time you see them, you ride by and they sitting on the porch drinking and smoking or doing whatever they're doing and not going out there and giving their dream legs. What is a dream? Willow!
Hey, Raheem, good morning.
Good morning, young lady.
Good morning, Raheem.
How you doing this morning?
Oh, man. Raheem, I can't even describe the feeling that I feel this morning.
Wow.
Man, I feel good.
Come on now. Come on.
Good morning to you and morning.
Good morning, sis. We talking about what is a dream and how do you deal with a person that is not giving their dream aspiration of being successful legs and going out there doing anything. They're just letting time just pass them by. Well, I'm sure you've seen people like this before.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Man, Raheem, I've seen quite a few people like this, and it's just like what we've talked about in the past. Sometimes how people discourage other people that have dreams and visions. So to me, what a dream is something that bothers you and aches you almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
It aches you to the point that even when you're not thinking about it, it comes to your mindset. Not
Mm-hmm.
only would it come to your mindset, but something around you in your environment makes you think about it. So that's what to me what a dream is. And that's how to me it seemed like God is trying to push you to the level of getting you to start your dream.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes people just don't have that push, that press.
Mm-hmm.
They're so laid back. They're so, because sometimes people need to be primed and people need to be encouraged and to push them. And sometimes they need that start. And then even sometimes when they get that start and then they run into trouble, they'll back down and they won't complete their dream. My father was like that.
Mm.
Man, Raheem. My father was smart. At 16 years of age in the 1900s, he graduated at 16 from Crane High School with a
Mm.
predominantly white school with mostly men because the women didn't even go to Crane at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And my daddy was up there in the top of his class. And I know that because my grandmama told me.
Mm-hmm.
Because my grandmama would always call my dad a big liar. But anyway, he was, man, my daddy was so smart. And he was in the politics and he ran for alderman and he ran that. He didn't win, but he ran and he was involved in, I told you about how we were some of the first young black people to be bused to school to integrate the schools. He was a part of that. I mean, he was a part of so much, but he never did. He even tried to open up a restaurant. He
Mm-hmm.
opened it up and he had people working in it. He didn't complete it. So it was so many things that he had put in place, but that he didn't complete. But my thing was he was just probably trying to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
Me now being grown and understand, he didn't take one thing. He did too many things.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know what dreams are, and they could be met. Oh, I don't care how old you is. Don't ever think you're too old to finish your dream.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's on my heart right here.
Well, do you think sometimes people get comfortable in the discomfort that they're living in?
Oh, for sure. For sure, because you know what they'll say, Raheem? Like I just said, don't ever think that you're too old to finish your dream. People that are up in age sometimes, mostly, and you find them kind of people that are mostly up in age,
Mm-hmm.
that they'll say, oh, well, I ain't got that much more longer to be here on earth. No need for me to do what I do. But sometimes you can deposit your dream into somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to stop with you.
Yeah.
Because we can always, we got grandkids and nieces and nephews. We should always try to leave some kind of legacy or business, just like the gentleman that just got off the line.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever tell them that they can't own something or do something. We can always deposit it into our young generation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Raheem?
yeah.
So, yeah.
That's good.
It can happen sometimes, and most of the time it does. Just look around you of all the stores that are owned by Asian people or Spanish people or white people. We own some business, but we don't own as much as we should.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's on my heart.
Good deal. Good deal. Ryan, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, man, it's good to find positives, right? To focus on, look at different scenarios. You have to forgive me today. I'm a little distracted. Got absenteeism going on again.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It kind of goes into this conversation a bit when you got a friend who sticks his neck out for you because you're unemployed and he's trying to help you capture that vision of taking care of your family. And your friend's a great employee, shows up to work on time, does what he's supposed to be doing, and then he puts his neck on the line for you. Says, "Yo, I get you in here. You just got to be here, show up on time.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude will take care of you. He's a good boss."
Mm-hmm.
And I take that man at his word because he's a hard worker. I hire his friend. Friend shows up a couple weeks on time every day, learning quick, doing a good job. And now he's absent 2 out of the 5 days a week.
Good Lord.
And then asks me to cover for him and lie to my boss to cover his backside.
Wow.
Try to put me in a position to end up without a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, things like that, man. Like, you're setting your own self up for failure. You know, I'm trying to live my dream. I'm trying to move to the next level, and you're trying to pull me back down. That's not going to work for me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, anyway, got 5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, man. Like, I love helping people. I really do. It may not sound like it today, 'cause maybe I'm on some agitated type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do love to help people. I want to see people succeed. I don't like to see people poor, failing, not having the means to take care of their family, because I know what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it feels like to be reliant on everybody but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
I don't like to be like that, and I definitely don't want to see other people like that and feel like they have no way out, right? So I try to offer guidance. I try to offer work. I have plenty of that. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So, but sometimes it just seems like you're on a mouse wheel and you're just running in circles and going nowhere with certain individuals. And I don't know. I guess today would be a good topic. And so I'm listening, trying to, I guess, glean. You know, iron sharpens iron. I'm trying to glean off of other people's perspectives. And, you know, maybe I can come up with some new and creative ways to help people. But again, I guess my mindset is skewed, because if you don't want to help yourself, I can't really help you.
Exactly. Let me go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, thinking about what he just said, and I believe it was Willa earlier. Sometimes not knowing how, or not, I've seen many people that are very intelligent or smart in certain areas, yet they have a very hard time in others. And they reach out for help and reach out for help and reach out for help. And just one of two things happen. They either get used or ignored. And the lucky ones find those that actually go, hey, come on. But those are rare. And it's in, we have to think about those situations, because those make it a lot harder for some people to succeed when they're always used to just people shutting them down or people wanting to use them for their talents, for their own personal gain. And then when that person's in need, they just turn their back on them. So a lot of gifted people are hermits. They're tired of just dealing with people because they're so used to the negative side of humanity that they don't see a point. They do think they work on their things in different ways because it's come to an acknowledgement that people don't have compassion for one another as much as they used to. By a long shot. You know, y'all hear me talk about autism all the time. if you had any ideas, the stories I hear on a frequent basis of listening to someone cry and leaning on your shoulder, going, all I want is a chance. But they think I'm dumb. They think I'm stupid because I don't do this or this. But these are the things I am good at. Why don't they look at this? They only look at my faults. Then you have to sit there and help them up every day, dealing with things like that every day. Like it's wild having to, working with people who share that story over and over and over from different perspectives. And they are doing their best. Yet they're the ones that are called lazy because they're not able to do something that people deem normal.
Wow.
So it's a large spectrum, and unfortunately, I'm about to have to go as much as I want to continue the convo.
Okay. Well, like I say, hang out with us until you I know you got our therapy this morning, so hang out with us until they get there if you can. If not, I understand. If you get an opportunity, certainly come back. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I think it gets to a point where people probably want to understand how to motivate.
Yes.
It's one thing to have your own motivation, to be self-motivated. But now we're talking about people that got all these potentials and all these gifts and they just letting them go to waste. How do you motivate them? Well, 1, lead by example. 2, encourage them. Number 3, point out and show them something that they can relate to show them just how smart they are. Hey, man, I heard you say something that such and such Smith said, and he had to go to school to learn that. You have to give them a picture. Help them see the light out of that fog that they're in. Because when you speak about the people that's sitting on the porch, shucking and driving, shooting basketball, all that is recreation. That's what weed is now. Weed is a recreational drug. Still Schedule 1 in some states, but a recreational drug. And you know why mankind has recreation? To distract them from all the hell on earth, all this dog eat dog. I was born on October 2nd, 1972. And on September 24th, 1965, 9 years before I was born, Lyndon B. Johnson did an executive order for affirmative action. It was necessary. I didn't learn about affirmative action until like 1980, but once I heard about it, I definitely understood why it was needed. Now I understood why some of the winos was down on the corner saying, man, it's a waste of time to go to college. It's a waste of time doing this. It's a waste of time. Then I started listening to stories from my elders, my parents, my grandparents. Sometimes they talked about the good old days, and then sometimes they talked about having to go through the back of the restaurant. What kind of sense that makes? Oh, y'all just don't know how good y'all got it. Why, back in the day before this and that, black people could, and I'm trying to sit up here now as black people trying to understand how we don't understand how people can lose their ambitions. We had to have laws in place to help to start to knock down the doors from exclusion, where opportunities were denied. Oh, build your own Rosewood in Tulsa. Watch us burn it down. Did they rebuild it? Did they lose their ambition? Did they lose the dream? Or did they rebuild it? Did they keep on going? But see, that's how hard it is. We as black people ought to understand more than anybody how tough it is in this country anyway. How it is to get caught up in recreation. You know what recreation does? Recreation distracts you. It gives you something to feel good, have fun, relax, get away from all the everyday hustle and bustle of the rat race and all these different issues that goes on in society. Go do something to make you feel good. And everybody like to feel good, but some people feel good in some dysfunctional ways, some ways that, once again, a lot of times we contribute to our own downfall. Sometimes we participate in things that hurt us, but that's what society is. It's a whole big ball of confusion.
Hey, Rico, this recreation that you're talking about, I don't mean to cut y'all, brother, but this recreation that you're talking about, could it also be something whereas a concert come to town and you just got enough money to pay bills, but yet and still you go buy that ticket to go to that concert because you want to be entertained. Could that be along the same scale?
Yeah. That's recreation too.
Yeah.
You know, your value system, your priorities, you know what I'm saying? Your needs and your wants.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need to do this, but I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, now I'm fixing to go do what I need to do. Oh, you can't do that because you're black. Hey, man, y'all gonna do some affirmative action or something? I bet you go to the EEOC, see who the majority of those people filing cases are. Somebody tried to crush their ambitions and deny their access to opportunity to accomplish their dreams, quote unquote, ambitions and aspirations, to succeed and to overcome. But did Rosewood and Tulsa come back and rebuild? They had ambitions and aspirations, and they accomplished them. And those are the prime examples of why people will resort to recreation. Man, you know what? I ain't gonna even try no more.
Wow.
Let me just get away from this reality and distract myself. So when you see the winos and you see the weed heads and you see the ones that shooting out there shooting basketball all day, or just sitting out laughing, listening to the music.
Is that a defeated
and
attitude?
That recreation that
is that a defeated attitude? Or it
might be a defeated attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, well, of course, I'm gonna say that's a defeated attitude. You know, until somebody comes along and shows you how to beat. I mean, like I said, that's when you start learning how to beat. If you are the person that's awake and realize what's going on, understand what got them in that situation, then you can wake them up by telling them what has them in that situation and how it's detrimental to them.
Good deal.
But don't just ride by and say, look at y'all sitting out here shooting basketball every day, same old thing. Why don't y'all do something better?
Exactly. And that was the purpose of my story, man, because like I said, and I keep saying this, man, and I hope people know my heart and know that I certainly don't think I'm no better than anybody else, man. I'm on the same playing field. But my thing is, I just couldn't go there every day, Rico. I just could not listen to what they were saying. Ain't no need doing, like, to your point, ain't no need going to that, man. Them people ain't gonna give you no job, man. Had I listened to that and fell into that, I'd have been out there every day playing basketball, man. I'd have been out there every day playing basketball, drinking with the fellas and stuff like that, man. I would not have gone out the next day and found, it was rough, brother. It was rough because it was hot. But at the same time, man, I couldn't just sit there. I could not just sit there. Go ahead. Finish your thought, brother.
See, that's when they needed examples of the greats. They needed examples of the Martin Luther King. They needed examples of those that overcame the Booker T. Washingtons and the George Washington Carver. Especially George Washington Carver, man. If anybody knew his story, oh my goodness, he was castrated at a young age.
Yeah.
Because the white people that adopted him didn't want him. He was so bright and intelligent and so well liked and had so much charisma. I ain't gonna say charisma. He was so kind and he was a rarity. I think he grew up in Iowa. He was adopted and was raised in Iowa. They were so afraid of him attracting the women from his intelligence and all of his gifts. They had him castrated at a young age. That's why if you ever hear footage of George Washington Carver speaking, he sounds like a woman. He sounds lighter than Michael Jackson in the voice. But he still overcame and succeeded. So you have to give people examples. You know what I'm saying? You have to take them and show them where we came from. I mean, it's an awakening, an awareness that has to come from those that realize it instead of more condemnation instead of condemnation, because there's a cause and effect to most things we see. Even some of the things that we don't understand, there's still a cause and effect to it. You just have to find a way that you can help make those things better. I think if I was coming in the presence of Jesus, and I said, Jesus, man, look at them dudes over there sitting over there ain't shooting on nothing. They're sitting over there drinking and smoking. And that dude, he got all the potential in the world, and she was smart. I remember she made the honor roll. Now I wonder what would Jesus do? Would he sit there with me and talk about them? Yeah, they need to be doing better. Or would he go over there and try to motivate them?
Exactly. Wow. Great point. Willow! Joseph, coming to you next.
Yeah. Hey.
Talk to me.
I'm ready, Raheem.
Come on.
Because, I was just talking about it with my Christian sister. And we was just talking about, remember that movie Hidden Figures?
Yes.
How that young lady, she wouldn't have never been what she is now if she had to listen to that white judge when that white judge told her, that black folks don't go to that school, especially women.
Mm-hmm.
But look what she did. She
Yeah.
pressed her way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's what happens a lot of times. You know, there's always gonna be something that tries to stop you from your vision, from your dream. But that's when you, as an individual, when you want it just that hard, that you're gonna press your way some kind of way to make it happen. You know, because you know when things come to you easy, Raheem, I think that it builds character when you have to kind of press your way and fight your way to do what you're gonna do. Because if it's easy, then you're not gonna take it. You're not gonna appreciate it, should I say,
Mm-hmm.
as much as you would have if you wouldn't have had to like kind of fight for it. And that's what our ancestors did. They fought for what we have right now. When we can go to a school and look around and see all kinds of cultures in that school, you know, and to say that we got our dream, you know, and then you got those who didn't make it,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to call you an Uncle Tom and say, you know, you just doing it because you know, you're going to get that. But you as an individual have to press your way through this life.
Come on.
I tell you, when you talk about as a Christian, I ain't going to be too long right here. Because you know, when I start talking about God, you got to stop me. But that's when your faith come into play.
Yeah.
And the Bible says that faith without works is dead.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it's going to happen, and I'm going to do something about it because I know God is going to pull me through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's on my heart right here.
Good deal.
Amen.
Now, the young lady that's with you, does she want to say anything?
You want to say something? No, she's shaking her head.
Good deal. Joseph, talk to me, brother. Cap, coming to you next. Joseph, you there?
Yeah, trying to find this mute button.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
Hey, I like what my sister just said as well, and what Rico said. You know, Booker T. Washington had, you know, he also was in contention with W.B. Du Bois.
Mm-hmm.
He was in contention with W.B. Du Bois. Booker T. Washington was preaching self-help. He was saying, don't worry about necessarily the politics, and let's just focus on building up our own community with our own hands and creating jobs for ourselves. And that was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
W.B. Du Bois was saying, well, we should also enjoy our constitutional rights since we, you know, fought for this country, we pay taxes, and we should enjoy the same rights as everyone else in America.
Mm-hmm.
Those two were at odds with each other, vying for the loyalty of the black community. And of course, you know, W.B. Du Bois went on to help found the NAACP after they started the Niagara movement. But we still have the same arguments today.
Yeah.
The same arguments. When I hear our white brothers, they say, well, y'all need to pull yourself up by your bootstrap and all this here, right? That's Booker. They were siding with Booker T. Washington. He didn't want no confrontation with the white power structure necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to placate them and, you know, get the money that he needed to build Tuskegee Institute. Whereas W.B. Du Bois, you know, he wanted to protest about all this lynching, man, this violation of human rights.
Mm-hmm.
So those two philosophies are still at work with us today. And even though we try to teach our children in school the history of this, I think it'd be better for us to teach them the meaning of it, how it's working in front of us right now. We should do both. We should work hard. We should do a very good job of whatever we do. If we're at NASA, if we're building rocket ships, we should be the best builders out there.
Mm-hmm.
If we're in the government, we should be the best leaders. We shouldn't be so quick to take bribes and gifts under the table, especially knowing that the ones who got the power is watching you.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Exactly.
And then, you know, and then another thing, we got to check excesses in our culture. Like, I go to some of these schools, man, and I see, you know, I go by the bathroom, I smell weed, and you know, I see some of these kids fighting, man, and putting it all on Facebook. And I even talk to teachers, and they catching folks in the bathroom, women with women, girls with girls, boys with boys, sometimes boys with girls. Man, in China, I bet you wouldn't catch that kind of foolishness in China.
Mm-hmm.
They are structured, regimented. Yeah. I take it back. I don't underestimate human, what they will and will not do. I'm sure they got their excesses over there.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as their children going to school, man, they instill discipline in them kids. That's why they outdo us in math and and all this technology stuff, man. Because they have a different philosophy over there. Now we in this country, especially as Black people, knowing where we came from and what we continue to struggle against, we can't even afford that, man. We got to be disciplined.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Cat, what's on your heart? Cassandra, coming to you next.
And we're gonna give my man and Dr. Rico appreciate that history lesson he taught me something I didn't know. That my man was castrated, and that's the first. And wow, I really, really appreciate that. We got to say that you're a doctor. You come from the school of Scuffle University. So I appreciate that. That's the beauty of being on this show.
I like that.
That's the beauty of being on the show, man. People share knowledge, and you got to be humble enough to recognize, man, when we all bring something to the table, acknowledge it. Don't be like you knew. You didn't know. But I appreciate that. And what my man Joseph talked about, he talked about the talent of cancer. There's no question there was odds between Du Bois and Frederick Douglass. But if you look at it, my family, we the only people, I'm talking about Black people in America, that God has given to us some of the most brilliant leaders on this planet. Matter of fact, the leaders that God has given us would be called prophets in other countries. Martin Luther King would be hailed as a prophet in another country. Malcolm will be hailed as a prophet in another country. The condition of Black people is so bad that God had to flood us with brilliant minds. And sometimes, like Brother Joseph said, those minds were at odds with each other. But imagine if Malcolm was at odds with Martin. Everybody knew that. Malcolm talked about Martin so bad that when he finally met with Martin Luther King or his wife, he had apologized for what he said about Martin Luther King being Uncle Tom. But he was at odds. And even though both of them brought a philosophy or ideology that could lift Black people out of this condition, we was divided. So imagine if Du Bois and Frederick Douglass would got together. I just heard Joseph talk about China, how they banned TikTok.
Yes.
Man, we sit there. My little niece, she's about 9 years old. I remember about 6 or 7. She said she wanted to be a doctor. I bought her, me and my wife, her auntie bought her a doctor kit. The next time, 2 years later, she on Instagram, and I said, "Well, how you doing, doctor? I don't want to be no doctor. I want to braid hair."
Wow.
I said, "Why did you get so being a doctor to braid hair?" I want to braid hair because her mother's in the eyelashes and nail business. Okay. Then this other day, my wife said, "You know what she want to be? She want to be a dancer because all day long she's on Instagram and TikTok dancing. She want to be a dancer.
Wow.
So she went from a doctor to a hair braider to a dancer. And before life is over, she'll go through this. But what is the influence that she has? What is the influence on our young people? Yes, they got dreams. Yes, they got ambition. But who control the influence? If you on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all day long, it shapes these young people's influence. They want to be what they see. And now, and we have to change that reality if we want our children to be better than us.
Yes.
Then there's nothing wrong with taking the best of what China has to offer. All the other stuff, all the human rights violations, keep that. Keep that. But here's what we do. We throw the baby out with the bathwater. How come we can't take a little over here? I like that. Take a little over here. I like that. America was a melting pot. And America had the ability to take a little from every nation. But we're not going to be like this. But we'll be like this. Have America stopped trying to be that to the world? If America stopped trying to be that to the world, what about us as the people in our community? How come we couldn't sit down Muslim Christian? How come we got to be arguing with each other? How come we got to always try to repeat whose God is this God? How come we just can't sit down and recognize, look at the nation? That the brothers got a discipline. I like that discipline. Let's come to the church and train our millions there in that discipline. We like the church. I heard Brother Bob Law said, Captain, if the nation had a choir, there wouldn't be no more churches. Because we know you got the word, but you ain't got that choir. But the bottom line, which was a joke, is like we have to learn on this show. Man, I could take what Willis said, and man, I could take what Ryan said, I could take what my man Rico, and I could take what Leonard and Badger, I could take what Brother Joseph, Sister Sandra, Sister T, all of us. I take a bit here, take a bit here. So that we don't have to be at odds. That's what our leadership has done. They was always at odds. So they always gave us a door. I don't want to be with the nations here. The nations that don't eat no pork and they don't mess with the white women. You see, I can't be with the Muslims, you see. So I go over here to Reverend Pinkley's church. See, Reverend Pinkley's church? Yeah. See, you can go to Reverend Pinkley. See, we always give our people an option. See, we got to start closing that door. Because one thing we all have in common on this show, we all want the good. Listen to my words. We all want the good of humanity. Everybody on this show.
Good deal.
Everybody on this show striving to be right. We got that in common. And if we got that in common, then let's build on what we have in common. And take a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and throw all that other nonsense away. Because God is in all of us. God is not a respecter of person. Everybody know that. He's not a respecter of person. But that's what we are now. We recognize with everybody. So like my old sister Willa said, justice on my heart right here.
Good deal, good deal. Cassandra, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we're talking about dreaming. We're talking about a person that has dreams, quote unquote, aspirations to be absolutely amazing, to do some amazing things. But every time you see them, they're on the front porch, drinking and smoking and hanging out with the guys or the girls. Cassandra, what is a dream?
Well, it's according to the person, I guess. But a dream is something, for me, a dream is something that I think God put in my heart to do and to aspire toward. And I try to spend my life going toward that. It's a purpose. It's something that is usually bigger than what you think that you're capable of doing. You know, I was listening to Cap, and as he talked about his niece and how, she's changed from thing to thing. I believe that when you have a dream, no matter how you try to deviate from that thing, it always comes back. It's something that just is always there. You always want to strive toward that. And, even if you just take what Dr. King was saying what his dream was when he did the I Have a Dream speech.
Yes.
You know, those are things that he worked toward. He didn't just say it. He worked toward seeing those things come to fruition. I believe that many of us on this line, that we continue to pursue the dream that we have. And it's usually for the good. I know from these people that are on this line, it's usually for the good of everybody.
Okay. Now, Cassandra, I'm the question asker, so I'm gonna ask you a question. The I Have a Dream speech was 68, 69, around that window. We in 2023 now. Has the dream become a reality?
No. Parts of it has become a reality, but parts of it is still in nightmare mode.
Wow.
It's instead of it being a dream, it's become a nightmare because it feels like we're trying to take steps backwards instead of move forward. So yeah, no, the dream has not been fulfilled.
Wow. Ryan, do you think the dream, as spoken by Martin Luther King, as eloquently as he had that speech, beautiful speech, do you think that dream in this country would ever be reality?
I can't say for certain because, like Sandra just said, some of those things have been fulfilled, which gives you hope, right? Gives you hope for the rest. But you can never say for certain because dreams are dreams. Not all dreams come true, but when you're making progress, it gives you hope. I like, not to deviate from that question, but I like what Kat was saying. You know, everybody's got a different methodology, ideology, dream. And I think the fulfillment comes when we all put our dreams together. Certain ones anyway. Some people got some messed up dreams, you know what I mean? But I mean, think about it. I believe in the text, Ephesians 43 talks about how good it is when the brothers dwell in unity, right? And I think that that's one of those key components that we miss in life. It's like everybody's been speaking over the last few minutes. People being at odds, having two different goals that really, in the end, if they combine, will end up with a great end result, right? So I feel like we're touching on something there. Probably been spoken about a bazillion times before, but it's a great focal point. You may have a different dream than I do, but our goals end up being the same. Like Kath said, we all want to see the fulfillment of things. We all want to see people succeed. Maybe we can use that as a building block, you know, focusing on bringing each other up with these uplifting dreams instead of negative ones and combining them to create a unified goal.
Wow, that's good.
That's on my heart.
Good. That's what's on your heart, brother.
That's what's on my heart.
There you go. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, sis. We talk. You been listening? Or do I need to catch up?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I literally just got on.
Okay, cool. We're talking about dreams. Now, Toya, you got a friend, has great dreams and aspirations. They really want to do great things. But every time you see them, Toya, they sitting on the front porch drinking or smoking with the guys or the girls. Now, I say the dream have to have legs. But what do you say? What is a dream? Toya, we talking about what is a dream?
I mean, a dream is supposed to be a vision of what you want to do. You know, the person sitting on the porch smoking, I'm going to tell them, nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. So if you sleep, that's all it's gonna be is a dream. Ain't gonna be no reality, bro, because you ain't doing nothing. See,
Mhm.
I'm a different kind of person. I don't hold no punches, no bar. You can say I hurt your feelings or whatever, but I'm gonna be 100% take your drugs off. Honest with you.
Mhm.
What you chasing? What you gonna be, the blunt king? Oh, the alcohol king. Oh, you want alcohol dreams? That's what you want. Oh
Mhm.
no, you want weed dreams? Okay, well that's what I mean. Tell me what kind of dream you dream about, because you must maybe have nightmares or something. Because if you don't get your butt up off this porch, you're gonna be my age. And I always tell these to these young kids, I had dreams too, but I started working for someone else. So now I'm just now getting caught up working on my own dreams because I was working on everybody else's.
Mhm.
Get your butt up. Do it. What you waiting on? What effort you putting in for your dream? See, I'm gonna shut that down real quick. I'm not gonna pitter patter and play with people.
Mhm.
So if it's a dream that you have, what we doing to achieve it, or is it just a vision? It's just a thought because you're sitting out here on the porch smoking and drinking. How
Mhm.
long you been having this dream? 2022, 2020? Oh well, it's 3 years later. What's up? Let's go. I mean,
Mhm.
even if you try something and it fails, right? That's my frustration right now. I've tried tons of things over the years,
Mhm.
tons. Nothing's worked.
Mhm.
But it doesn't take away the fact that I feel in my bones something is going to pop off for me. I didn't want to be 50, but something is going to happen. You can't determine when it's going to happen, but you have to at least try. You have to at least try. When I think about the people who sit on the porch and smoke the weed or smoke the blunts or smoke the alcohol, you know what I think about? I think about Christians
Mm.
who sit and do nothing and say what God's going to give them. Oh, he gonna make me a millionaire. But wait, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't writing no book. You ain't getting up
Mhm.
going nowhere. You're just sitting. You go to church once a week, twice a week. You come back. You do nothing else and say, "Oh, he's gonna make me rich.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna have abundance. Oh, I'm gonna have all these things." But you do nothing. You do
Mhm.
nothing.
Mhm.
But go to church 3 times a week, and that's it. So when we talk about dreams, it's like I mean, a lot of people in the Bible had dreams, but do you understand the things they had to go through? And are
Mhm.
you willing? Are you willing to go through what it takes to achieve your dream?
Yeah.
Most of us not. If we sitting on the porch smoking weed, I'm just saying.
Exactly. Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. What is a dream? Rico, talk to me.
You know what I realized over my experience, man, is that the greatest of the greatest achievers had to overcome a lot of obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a thing that comes with being resilient and making an effort to chase your ambitions, and that's putting yourself in some uncomfortable situations
Mm-hmm.
when it's time for you to fight. But what's the hardest part about being a fighter? Say like some people like want to be a boxer or whatever. It's one thing to do all the running and learn how to punch correctly, but then there's another thing to take them body blows. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
who gonna keep doing that?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to run yourself to death and train yourself to death, but now you're taking them body blows. But see, what happens is for you to fight and accomplish all I'm gonna say for you to achieve getting all the opportunities or the rights that you should have to reach your full potential, sometimes you might have to go learn and train to be spit on and hit on and called everything but your mama, what your mama named you at a lunch counter. But who want to get out their comfort zone and do that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who want to take that beating, them body blows at that lunch counter?
Mm-hmm.
You can understand how much resilience, how much courage it would take for you to put yourself in that situation and say, you know what, man, I'm gonna let these people spit on me. I ain't gonna fight back, even though I know I could get me a couple of them. I'm gonna let them do all this and jake me around. Yeah, I know one man even died during that. I think his name was Jimmy Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Down here in Alabama on the lunch counter sitting. Man, high school students at Freedom Rider bus. Oh man, I done met some of them. I got pictures with them. That happened in my city. Them folks like they got burned alive on that bus. High school students, black and white. But it takes unity, man. Like I said, to get people to get in uncomfortable situations and put themselves at risk or just do the things that the average person won't do.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't easy to do that, to be resilient.
Yeah.
It ain't easy to put yourself in an uncomfortable position and to do all the things that it takes, especially when you got a disadvantage. You might need affirmative action.
Mm-hmm.
when you just might need money. You know, we live in a world right now where we have to do some very dysfunctional things, such as put ourselves in uncomfortable positions.
Yep.
Just to get our God-given rights. Just to have a right as an opportunity to do what God gave me. I have to put myself in an uncomfortable position and bow down and do some uncomfortable things, some very dysfunctional things. And that can get tiring, taking them body blows. Imagine you want to be the first black person to win the gold medal in the pole vault. Then all of a sudden, when you get up to 19 feet, mid-air, they slide it to the side. The mat and everything. After a while, you're going to have some people say, man, I ain't studying that pole vault thing, but we ain't going to never win the gold in that.
Yeah.
But it'll take another person to say, well, you know what? I'm going to find another way to do it. So when they move it mid-air, I can move myself mid-air. I done learned to contort my body a certain way. I mean, you know, it's hard, man. I mean, so having that structure, man, leading people by example. I like what Joseph had mentioned earlier, man. You know, we have our priorities wrong. These excesses and this recreation that we're addicted to, it's a reason why black people are addicted to it. You know, for the people that's in the church, you should be able to get an understanding. For the people in economics that complain, understand why we are the biggest wasteful spenders. Well, we are the most, and it says wasteful spending. Black people lead the pack. I wonder why we waste so much money spending on things that aren't priorities or necessities. Could we be trying to make ourselves comfortable in this dog-eat-dog world, in this dysfunctional society called America that they say is about democracy, that we looking for some structure, order, chaos, and logic? We're trying to get some of the same logic China got.
Wow.
And then, you know, what's funny is I'm glad that he brought that up about Booker T. Washington and Du Bois, because Ecclesiastes says there's a time or place for everything under the sun. I always felt like them brothers was both right. It was just depending on the situation. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X was on opposite sides. Before Martin Luther King died, he started speaking a different tone. And Malcolm X spoke a different tone too, which lets me know that Ecclesiastes was true. There's a time and place for both things depending on the situation or the scenario.
Good deal.
So I think both of those brothers was right. You know what I'm saying? But like Cap said, why couldn't we come together? Why couldn't Martin Luther King and Malcolm X come together? Why couldn't Du Bois and Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass come together? It's because, you know, we can't be we can't be Indians. We all need to be chiefs.
Wow.
I don't know what that is. That's a different story. But, you know, it takes a lot of resilience. And those people are the examples of resilience. The Booker T. Washington and the Du Bois and the George Washington Carver. All of those people are examples of resilience.
Good deal.
And they
Stay
also are examples of going above and beyond.
Absolutely. Stay right there, brother. We're going to keep this thing going. Joseph, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Cassandra, you next. Joseph, you there? Cassandra, go ahead. I think Joseph may be having some issues with his line there. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
There was some problem with it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. What you say?
What's on your heart, brother?
Oh yeah, I was hoping that Ryan could elaborate a little bit more on progress, because I'm not sure if we all see the reality the same. There has been progress, but when Black people in this country take one step forward, they end up taking two steps backwards. The Voting Rights Act was gutted in 2013 by the right-wing Supreme Court. Okay, there has been attacks on affirmative action, and even right now, a strategy to get rid of it altogether. In fact, the people use Asian Americans to file a lawsuit or case and take it to the Supreme Court. This is the deviousness of some of the white right-wing people in this country. So when we talk about progress, it's very important that all of us see things the same. There's been progress, but we in the Black community dare not relax our struggle, because if we do, we'll be taken all the way back to the first, or the what you call the first yard line. You in the sports. I'm not big on sports, but it'll take you all the way back. You see, and you got to start all over, try to make that goal. That's the tricks that we've been dealing with in this country. Now those people that was on the Edmund Pettus Bridge was beaten. Horses was scaring them or threatening to stampede them. They were gassed. John Lewis ended up with an iron plate in his head just to get that voting rights bill passed. But in 2013, the Supreme Court gutted it and took away the pre-clearance. So now Georgia, Texas, and all these other southern states and other locale that was under the observation of the federal government don't have to comply now. That's why they have initiated. I think it's like 300 and something voter suppression measures have been passed since they got rid of that. And we could thank the Supreme Court for that. So when you say progress, when you say we make progress, we always take one step forward and two steps backwards. And I know that right now they're trying to ban books and stop white folks from learning this and stop black children from learning it. But we got to teach. So thank you, Brother Raheem, for letting me do that. Let me say that.
Absolutely. Ryan, do you want to respond to that?
He said that we'll dwell together as brothers, right?
Yes.
How can we dwell together as brothers if one is trying to undermine the progress of another? We could dwell in peace, but the peace must be in the presence of justice, not the absence of tension.
Okay. Joseph, I'm sorry. Ryan, do you want to respond to that, brother?
I guess the best I can. I think it's being taken out of context. I think he's talking about the system. I'm not talking about the system. I'm talking about as people. Regular, individual, everyday, Larry, Jimmy, Johnny, walk down the street, pleasantly pleased to see my neighbors. That's progress. In my mind.
I agree.
I like that I can go to the city, and instead of how I came up, where I got to look both ways after I exit my home to see who's going to try and jump me today, I have conversation with folks. Not to worry about that stuff for the most part, except for some of these unruly folks we be seeing on the TV lately.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's in my mind, that's what type of progress I'm looking at. Because for me, the biggest picture is, like you say, the system, right? And we as civilians, I've said this before, we control the system. They don't control us. And until we get together as civilians and take back the system, we ain't gonna see no change in the system.
Okay. Cassandra?
I was watching, I was looking at something last night, and I ran across a video, and it was a case of a situation where a young black man was in the building where he had moved into and been in for a couple of years, and a new security officer was in place. And when he came in the building and was going, to go to the elevator to get to his apartment, the guy stopped him and started following him, asking him, a bunch of questions. And first of all, you had the key to get in the building. That's the first thing. So he obviously had access to the building. And he was like, well, he said, well, why are you following me? And he was like, who are you? Blah, 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 blah. And so a white female and her son came on the elevator, was getting off the elevator, and they were like, hey, so-and-so, and the kid greeted him and everything. And so he was getting ready to get on the elevator with the black guy. When he saw that the white lady and her child recognized him, he backed off. He said, well, come on, aren't you getting on the elevator with me? You want, it may be small to some people, but those are the type of things that we go through every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day. Why is it assumed that we can't live in certain buildings, certain communities, and we have to be, you know, a police officer following us around because we're in the certain. This is the mentality of America, unfortunately, and it has not changed. It has not changed. I don't get it. So there is so much work to do, and we've come, like I said, we've come a little way, and I'm totally with Joseph. We've come a little ways, but man, okay, and I'm gonna say this real quick. I just got back last night from standing with Jalen Walker's family, marching with him with impacted families in Akron, Ohio. What in the okay. Why would you shoot at a person 90 times, and 46 of those bullets actually hit this kid, 20-something-year-old kid, and no weapon? What the man? Listen, we got so far to go, guys, and I'm determined to stay in the trenches. I don't care if I lose my life. We have to see change in this country with things like that is happening to people of color. Don't ever demean or try to, play down what the hell is happening in this country.
Wow. Good deal. Good deal. Well,
you were talking about people not doing their dreams or not getting into what their God-gifted talent is. I know this young man right now to this day, he's in his 60s. And if you talking about somebody that might have been able to win American Idol, he was. He was. His voice, I tell you, sound like an angel. But what happened to him was he got on drugs. I think I talked about this young man before, but I didn't tell you how talented he is. He got on drugs, Raheem. When I tell you, he's in church playing. He plays the piano, but he's there because he knows he gets paid. Whatever event he sings at, he knows he gets paid for it. So that's why he goes. So he could get that money and get his drugs. And trust me, I've talked to him.
Yes.
But he told me, he said, I know what I'm doing is wrong. I know it's not right. He said, but it's what I want to do. He said, I know it's what's going to take me out of this world. So when somebody who is as talented as he is says to you that he already knows, and that's what he wants to do, you have to do just like what God says to us when we're not obedient and want to do what they want to do. He turns us over to a reprobated mind.
Absolutely.
So you have to let him go. You got to let him go because he's made his decision. So I said that to say, when you find people like that, because I even watch American Idol sometimes and I hear what this young man said, I wouldn't be here if it had not been for my mother signing me up.
Exactly.
And he won American Idol. So sometimes, Raheem, when you find people as talented as that, and they make their mind up and say, I'm just comfortable where I am. I'm okay with what I'm doing. You have to let them go.
Wow.
And that's what's on my heart.
Good deal. Cap, you there?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna read something. I'm gonna read something for you that this came from the one of the screams. I think it came from I can't see which one it came from right now, but our brother Paul. He said this right here, and I want you to respond to it. He said, "There's a lot of disrespect coming from all groups of people. It's not just whites who act nasty."
Listen. I don't know what that has to do with what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we pointed out nothing that deserved that comment from Paul. It seems like Paul has this mindset that he has to defend white people when we ain't attacking white people. You know, he's fleeing when nobody's pursuing. So I don't know where Paul got that from, because on this show this morning, I didn't hear nobody attacking white people. I just took it that we were speaking history.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted, because if history has a finger and it's pointed to the oppressor, and the oppressor happens to be white, then don't get mad at us because we quoting history. You know, let us be able to talk about an ugly past that America don't want to face. Oh, it's an ugly past. Very ugly past. But you can't take away from us our ability to talk about, because we're very proud of the accomplishments that we made for people into this ugly past. That's what we did, as the sister said. I think it was Cassandra, that Martin made some gains that we did. Look at the gains that Martin did make. He went down there and lost his life to stand with the garbage men strike. But look at what money the garbage men make today. He was striking to integrate a lunch counter. Well, can we sit at the counter now? Fighting to integrate a school. Can we go to school? Yes, there was some gains made. But we're very proud as a people, Paul. We're very proud, because we made these gains under oppression. We made these gains upon some of the greatest odds. And we're very proud of the gains we made. We became millionaires and maybe billionaires under oppression. We had to learn how to laugh when wasn't nothing funny, Paul. We scrapped when we really didn't want it. But we did it. And there's a generation, they're not taking that madness no more. But get out the way, as James Brown said, we don't want you to give us nothing. Just open up the door, man, and we'll get it ourselves.
Yeah. Wow.
No,
wow.
I don't know what you've been listening for. Man, don't get mad because we talk about true history, no matter how painful it is. Every time we talk about white people, you want to tell us, well, it was black people that did slavery. It was black. Oh, man, shut up with that madness. Just accept it, man. We're not pointing the finger to hurt nobody. We got Ryan on this line, man. You can't tell us who to love. We love our people. I love righteousness no matter what color it comes from. But I hate evil and injustice no matter what color it comes from. I want to go on the record and say that. I would not hand in no white oppressor for no black oppressor, white brutality for black brutality. I'm against brutality, period.
Good deal.
I'm sorry, I got a little move, so that's
Good deal. Toya, you with a T? Talk to me, sis. Rico, coming to you next.
Yeah, no, you know, I second that. I've noticed that even if it's true, people get mad when you talk about it. And I don't understand why. And that's about control. That's not about empathy. So you want to rape me, beat me, and go through all of this, or my family, and then years later when I'm over, say, oh, y'all just keep talking about it. Well, y'all do it. That's control. That's not empathy. You know what I mean? And I think that in today's times, when we're focused on issues and we're focused on, you know, I like what Cap said, history, don't get offended. That goes back to what Rico said earlier, being uncomfortable. You know how uncomfortable it was for black people to push through to try to open up businesses they knew that white people wasn't going to let us have. They were going to burn down. They were going to charge us extra for it. Come on with the joke. And then you want to take that thought, the ability to speak on it, the ability to challenge it away. Get out of here. Get out of here. Those are what your people said. That's what your people said. So at the end of the day, I can say whatever I want to say. If it happened to me, it now becomes my business. So we own what we've evolved from. We've owned the history that's fallen upon us. So at the end of the day, you can't get mad for something that is true. And you can't get mad because we communicate that. But, you know, I think most importantly, we were talking about, you know, fighting and pushing through and having these dreams. Well, that was Martin Luther King's thing, right? It was a dream, and that dude got murdered. You know why? because a specific group of people, may I dare say that they were white, did not agree with his dreams. Their dream was to keep white superiority. It's their dream. And they were willing to kill, steal, and destroy in order to maintain that. But when they talk about that, go to a KKK rally and tell them to stop.
Wow.
Go to some Nazis and tell them to stop. Don't talk about that. Y'all not gonna do that. But come over here and tell black people what to do. See, we out of that realm. And this fight, yeah, y'all know it still continues. We know it still continues. Women still get raped. What are you talking about? Kids still get abducted. What are you talking about? And things still happen to black people because we're black. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
Come on, Toya. So don't get offended. Acknowledge the truth. It is what it is. And if your mama did it, if your brother did it, if your uncle did it, I mean, it is what you didn't do it. But you still got to face the uncomfortable reality that falls upon white people in America, period.
Wow.
The same way y'all feel like crime and theft and stealing and all these goofy things that y'all put on black people, as if white people don't do it. The same thing y'all put on us. Some of it may stick. It's true. No need for us to get offended. We know we got to work on it. But we're not brutally just killing each other because we're black. Like, come on, we got to be honest. So when it comes to a fight, we need to start fighting for humanity.
That's
the
good.
first way to be changed is for you to be the change. Stop getting offended. Stop being scared to talk about situations that happen to us. Not your people. This happened to us. Y'all people did this to us. So you're scared to talk about it. Why? Because it's uncomfortable.
Good deal.
Well, imagine how comfortable it is for us. So in order for us to start this change, y'all, we have to be the change. We got to change our mentalities. We got to change our thought process. And if it's truth, we got to open it. Sometimes when it's true, just don't say nothing. Just be quiet. Just and ask, what can I do to help? I'm just saying.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, I said I was coming to you next, but we got Paul on the line. I know he probably want to respond to what was said by Cap and by Toya with a T. So hold Rico, I'm coming right to you right after I go to Paul. Paul, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm all right. Good morning.
Good morning.
So can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that comment, I made a lot of comments, but that one comment was just in reference to something that Cassandra said about I guess some situation where some white people were being disrespectful to black people. And, yeah, we see those videos. I know it happens on a daily basis. My comment was, I think she said something like, well, this is what black people face on a daily basis. And I'm sure that's true. But my point is not to minimize racism against black people, but to point out that this disrespect is all over the place. So it's not white people are constantly disrespecting each other, interracially, intraracially, all different ways. I'm not trying to diminish anything. I'm just pointing that out. I don't know. I can go deeper into that, but my main thing I wanted to talk about was the dream thing. So my original comment was, I think vision is a better word, because a vision is something that you can hold in your mind when you're awake. In your daily life, you can create a plan for it. You can work on. You can find out what obstacles are in your way. I'm really interested in in cognitive distortions and thinking errors and all that kind of stuff.
Hey Paul, let me say Paul, listen to me for a second. Let me say this right here to you, brother. And I understand what you're saying, but let me say this to you. Have you ever had a dream and you woke up and that dream was so real to you? I mean, it's almost like you lived it. You could see it. Everything in that dream was quote unquote what some would say was reality, because it was so crystal clear, like you lived it. Is there not a vision there?
I mean, I don't have those vivid dreams too often. Some people say my relative who passed away visited me in my dream, or it seems so real, and I don't discount that. Maybe there's something supernatural there. And I think maybe dreams can lead to a broader vision for your life.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my point is, like, the things that get in the way. That's what I realize I have traits in my personality that get in the way of my success. Like taking things too personally. I do that sometimes, or, thinking things are just, have to be a certain way, all these different kinds of things. Labeling myself, overgeneralizing, all these different kinds of thinking errors.
Okay.
So, what I'm trying to do is just to become more effective as a human being.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Stay right there, brother. If you can, I'm gonna go. I said I'm gonna go to Rico. I'm gonna go to Rico. Then I'm gonna go to Cassandra, because I thought your response was to Captain, but it's actually to Cassandra. So I'm gonna let her speak on that as well. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Hey, that was good clearing up, Paul, because I mean, and it did, what it was, it seemed like you were defending white people when really and truly it sounded like you were trying to say that the disrespect is worldwide across the board. It's just a human thing, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what you were trying to say, but when you said that white people ones, well, that came out the way it came out. You know, the fact that, hey, we ain't the only ones doing this disrespectful stuff. So it is what it is, but now we get more of an understanding. So, that goes back to the clarity that you were just speaking about. And I did the same thing you did with that dream thing. I prefer vision to ambition, because those dreams are unconscious. And we all know that sometimes dreams can be influenced by what you were looking at before you went to sleep, what happened the day before, what was on your mind. We know that those dreams can be influenced by a number of things. So I agree with Paul on that. That's why I was relevant. But we do understand where you're coming from, Raheem. So you ain't got to clear it up. Just know that, what I'm saying, we are using that difference for clarity in my mind. Because I need, in my process, I'm also trying to make sure I use words properly. And I do understand what a dream really is. Now, Martin Luther King had a dream. He might have actually had that dream. And I'm pretty sure he might have had that dream because it was influenced off the fact that he didn't like the way the world was in, to go the direction that the United States was going in. He didn't like the discrimination. He didn't like the oppression. He didn't like the whites only and blacks only. He wanted to see everybody have the God-given right to have an opportunity to enjoy this life. So that dream might have been influenced by all these other things that he had. And everybody harped on that dream. 3 years later, he said it was a nightmare. Everybody forget about that part. He said, man, let's go beyond this race thing, because now this is a systematic thing that's way bigger than race. It's about class too, man. We need to stop this poverty.
He said that he believed
this is what the problem is.
He said he believed he led his people to the slaughter. Yeah, he said he believed he led his people into the slaughter. He did say that.
Exactly. Because he wanted to be a part of the dream, but so if you read in between the lines, just use common sense on that American dream that he had, that thought for unity, that thought for that peace and process that he had, he realized, man, you know what? It might be unattainable. This system they have created, you can't succeed in it peacefully. You talking too much power. I want to go against the war machine. This don't make no sense. Oh, you talking too much power. We was cool with the peace stuff as long as you were letting us kick on you and beat on you. But now you don't reveal and you don't told the whole story. This American dream is an illusion. And we are under the spell of the American dream. We ain't woke up yet, but our eyes are wide open. Trying to chase it. Even though we know they'll move that pole vault when it's 19 feet in the air and you mid out. Even though we know they'll say we closed or we just ran out. Even though we know that sometimes you got to know somebody to get to where you got to get, even though you deserve it better than the next person. You don't have that favoritism. Maybe you lost a job because somebody else knew somebody, but you deserved it. You didn't get the promotion.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that dream is very understandable, how people can lose that motivation to chase that dream if they did have an unconscious dream, or if they are still stuck in this the eyes wide open dream that they still trying to chase it. It's still understandable why people would be chaotic and then confused and frustrated, or sometimes just give up and depend on recreation.
Good deal.
Because it's just that, it's a dream.
Good deal. Let's keep this thing going. Cassandra, I want to come to you. Toussaint, coming to you next. Cassandra, what's on your heart? You want to respond?
No. There's no need for response.
But thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal. Anything else on your heart, Cassandra, before we move on?
No, thank you.
Okay. Toussaint, talk to me.
Well, I missed a lot. What we talking about?
I
heard some.
Well, I have a dream.
Yeah.
I have a dream. The Martin Luther King's on speech, like and like Rico said, he actually came back and said, "I believe I may have made a mistake. I believe I've led my people into the slaughter." Has the dream become a nightmare?
For some. For some it has become a reality. And then some. You ever heard the deja vu? I've seen this somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, I know where I've seen it. In the speech. Some of it. May not have been all of it. Might not be as clear as we want it to be. For some. But for some, it's like deja vu. Matter of fact, if you keep looking, you'll see it more clearly. Because you got to look beyond what is actually here. It's kind of like looking at it potential. Looking at potential. Definitely not gonna give up on it. Can't. We can't afford to. What sense does it make to drop the dream? That's silly. That's like sitting on the porch smoking weed and drinking beer, or whatever your choice of beverage is. Talking about I'm gonna be great. If you give up on the dream, that's silly. That's like just hanging out, getting high, or living any kind of way. Talking about I'm going to heaven anyhow, if there is, however we want to say heaven is. So, ain't nothing wrong with dreaming. I think we all live in a dream.
Yeah.
Some way or somehow.
Some shape, form, or fashion. Exactly. Yeah. Some shape, form.
You know what? You got to wake up from the dream and try to make that dream a reality. That's what's on my heart right here.
Is that the scary part of it all, though? That sometimes we have to wake up. Can we actually? Huh?
No, I don't know if it's scary. It's necessary.
Absolutely.
Wake up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's necessary. I mean, you got shake the dreamer. And get him up. So that we can make the dream. If the dream is possible, it definitely is. Unless it's a nightmare.
Yes.
Wake up the sleeper.
That's good. That's
Wake
good.
up the sleeper.
Absolutely. Ryan, talk to me, brother. Ryan, you there?
I had to pass for a minute.
Say it again. Oh, you say pass?
Yeah, he said pass for a minute.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I got to pass for a minute.
Okay, that's fine. Talk to me, Willa.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, it's funny, Raheem. I was laughing at Toussaint, but I was thinking about what Paul was saying when he was saying something about a dream and how he was trying to clarify in his mindset from a dream and a vision. It's just like what we was talking about yesterday, when we was talking about success and then overcoming. And then how we talk about I make mistakes or I make bad choices. So when we talk about the different words on the line, we as people, as individuals, we're thinking that we're talking about the same terminology until we clarify it. Because one thing can mean one thing and then another thing can mean the same thing, right? So I was thinking about what he said when he said he thought about dreams. And does dreams, you asked, I think you said, do dreams still come true?
Yes.
Well, I remember when I used to play lottery right here about 3 years ago. I know I told you before. And I dreamed a number right here. So true. I dreamed it. And when I woke up, I called my sister, called my sisters, and I told some people where I was working at. I said, this number gonna come in, this number gonna come in. For sure it's gonna come in, it's gonna come in. And sure enough, Raheem, no lie, that number came in. I won $13,000 that
Lord.
day. It wasn't a week, it was the same day when I dreamed that number. So where I got the number from, I don't know. But dreams do come true.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to share. Wanted to share that with Raheem.
Well, look at here.
Because that was a dream. Go ahead, Raheem.
No, I was just going to be funny, a little funny, man. I was going to tell you, man, if you don't play no more, man, look, if you have a dream, give me a call as soon as you wake up. So don't hesitate. I want to be the first call. As soon as you wake up, call and tell me what them numbers is.
Raheem, I don't know if it's gonna work for you in Atlanta, but I sure know it works in Illinois.
Well, look at, hey, I'm gonna say I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try. So if you have a dream or some numbers, you give me a call. Let me know, Raheem, or text me, Raheem. I had a dream of these numbers right here, and look at here. Before you know it, I'm on my way down there to slide my couple of dollars on the table. And but go. Anybody got anything before we get out of here, man? It's 10:08. Sound for us to get out of here for today. Anybody got anything before we close out? Toy you with a T. I know something on your heart, sis.
Hey,
go ahead. Rico.
I was going to ask you, does this sort of relate to your heart's desire or your true passion?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I want to just leave that there because it might have gone a little smoother and been a little bit more understandable. You know what I'm saying? Had we, looked at it that way, because it's still pretty much to me the same thing. A dream. I look at a dream for what the definition says it is, but a true passion, what your heart desires, your purpose. Those are the things that, I think might have probably more related to the people sitting on the porch drinking and what makes them give up on them passions or choose to indulge in the other easier recreations than to put themselves in them uncomfortable positions to chase that true passion that they claim they have, or the things that their heart desires, like those that wanted freedom or, like I said, right to go to the front of the restaurant. They sat at the lunch counter. They had a desire and a passion too, but they put themselves in an uncomfortable position and had that motivation. So
exactly,
I didn't want to see if that could be related to the same as the dream.
But let me ask you this question.
Your interpretation.
It does. But let me ask you this question real quickly, Rico. And we gotta get out of here. I'm gonna go around to everybody else to say whatever they want to say, and please make it quickly, everybody, to say something. Cause we gotta get out of here. But how many people do you think, if you had a percentage of the amount of people that really truly know what their real purpose is in this life, how many people you think that would be?
I don't think a lot of people know definitely. They might not be able to figure out which one it is, because there might be more than one purpose that they have.
Okay. Good answer. Anybody else have anything before we get out of here?
Wasn't you just getting ready to go to me?
Yes, I sure was. Told you with a T. I said, I know you got something on your heart. That's why I said that. What's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
I thought you also were going to do a round.
Huh?
I thought I heard you say you were also going to do a round.
Yeah, I'm gonna go around. If anybody have anything they want to say before we close out, everybody might not have. Okay. Everybody might be finished.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, this is all I have to say, right? Your dreams, your visions, your goals, your purpose, that's between you and God. Don't listen to these humans. Listening to us humans, I have you stuck right where you at. Your dreams, your visions, your goals, your ambitions, your purposes, that's between you and God. And y'all need to come up with a plan. And if there are people who do not understand your dream or your vision, not trying to support you, not trying to come up with a way to help it come through, and always trying to tell you how it can't happen, I thought the Bible says, for those of us that believe in it, I thought God said anything with him is possible. So with that being said, do not listen to people talk to you, down you, doubt you, second guess you, or have you second guess yourself about your dreams, because the last thing you need to do is wake up in the morning and be against yourself. Leave that to everybody else. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else have? That's good.
Dream killer.
I concur with Toya with a T.
There you go.
And also, I want everybody to have a safe and wonderful holiday weekend. And the scriptures say we all have knowledge. Knowledge make people arrogant, but love edifies. And I always learn something listening to everyone's comment. And I think we are sharing together and growing together.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Absolutely. God be the
family.
glory. Hey, to God be the glory, brother. To God be the glory. Anybody else?
Hey,
I want to
Raheem, I stay away from. Go ahead, Cap.
I want to concur with my brother. Everybody, listen, family, y'all have a very safe and peaceful weekend and holiday. And remember, always watch out for brother and sister food. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Ryan.
Yes, sir. Peace. Peace. Tucson?
I don't hang with dream killers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do me no good. Because I'm woke now. And I'm chasing the dream, I guess.
There you go.
My dream, not nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say that. Definitely.
Tucson, I'm gonna ask you a quick question. And then we're gonna get on out of here. Anybody else have anything before I ask Tucson this question? Anybody else have anything they want to say? Okay. Tucson,
have a good and safe weekend, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Tucson, if you walked out your house and you drove down the street and somebody got a farm in your area, and you know they got chickens out there, and every day you see the chickens, they plucking a little corn up off the ground, eating a little corn like chickens do. Would it shock you if you drove up one day and you saw an eagle on the ground eating them same corn pellets or kernels or whatever you're gonna call them? Would that shock you?
Yeah, that's chickens and eagles don't hang together.
There you go. There you go. That's just food for thought. I'm not gonna say anything else about that. I want everybody that's listening to just think about that and visualize that for a second. I've never seen an eagle plucking corn off the ground with the chickens. I've never seen that. I've never. Anybody else ever seen that? Okay. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today? Did we lose Rico? Oh, his phone line must have dropped or something. Cassandra, what's going on at 3:00 today?
I don't know. If you missed the show and would like to see it in its entirety, tune in at 3 p.m. today for a rebroadcast of The Morning Glow, DKM Media. What is it?
DKMMediaGroup.com.
What he said.
Good
Thank
deal.
you.
Lord, I just want to know is voila.
I'll be here, Raheem. Come on, Raheem, let's go. Let's go, Raheem.
Hold on now. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that you're ready. You know, I want to make sure that you're ready. Now, you sure you're ready?
You know, amen to Toya, and I am so ready to receive God's word. Come on, Raheem.
Now,
let's go.
Did you say ready?
Ready. Come on, Raheem.
Well, look,
go.
Only thing I can say to that is, let's go.
Amen. I remember when you said, now unto him who is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy to the only wise God, as we approach his throne, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Father, we're coming to you with a humble heart, with bowed down head. Father, we thank you so much for allowing us to get up this morning to see another day of a chance and opportunity to get it right with you. Father, we thank you so much and we glorify your name today. We give you praise. We give you the honor. Father, we thank you because you said it in your word that you will not have us to be ignorant, born into an evil and wicked world, telling us to put on the whole armor of God. Father, we thank you so much for giving your children the instructions, the lead, the guide, the wisdom, the understanding that we need to be better servants for you, Lord. Father, we thank you. We honor you, glorify you, and we praise you, Lord. Father, we're asking you, oh Lord, that if anything that is in our lives, Lord, that shouldn't be there, Father, we're asking you, oh Lord, to take it away. Take it away, oh Lord. Stop allowing those barriers that the enemy tries to force on us, the lies of the deceitfulness. Tear back those layers, Lord. Father, I'm not telling you, but I'm asking you, Lord, because you said it in your word that I have not, because I didn't ask for it. And I'm asking today, oh Lord, for the strength that you continually give us the power, Lord, that you allow the Holy Spirit to manifest itself, dwell in our lives, Lord, allowing your word to be a healer, Lord, to bring us over those mountains, to take us through those valleys. Lord, we thank you and we honor you, Lord. We glorify you and we praise you. I'm asking you, Lord, to touch each and every last one that's on this line, Lord. Keep them safe, Lord. Not only through this weekend, Lord, but the next one and the next one and the next one. We thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for the morning glow. Thank you for your message, Lord. Thank you for all the things that you do in our lives, even when it seems that we don't appreciate you. We love you, Lord. We love you. We honor you. We praise you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for the morning glow. Thank you for my king and his family. Thank you for the vision that you give us each and every day. We thank you, Lord. We honor you. We glorify you. In Christ Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. We thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Yes.
We thank you, Lord. We thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, Lord.
None like you, Lord. There's none like you. You show us every day.
Yes, Lord.
When you make the sun shine. When you allow the rain to pour down on us. Father, we thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Holy God. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Where I am. Thank you, Lord.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining this morning. That I want to thank you for allowing DK, your media group and associates, and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:19, and you're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light of you for the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it. And I'm sure that you will appreciate it as well. Have a great weekend. Love you. See you Tuesday morning. See you Tuesday morning. If God say the same. Have a great weekend.